Welcome to Can the Angels Fly, Tarot and More. My name is Nancy, and I'm here for another Aquarius Rant. At this time, I'm about to perform here for another Aquarius Rant. Sound check. At this time, I'm about to perform here for another Aquarius Rant. Sound check. At this time, I'm about to perform here for another Aquarius. At this time, I'm about to perform. Wonder why it's so loud. Let me try that again. Why is that happening? Okay, I'm going to try to speak lower. And I want to do another sound check to see if this distortion still occurs. I'm scared to turn it on. This distortion still occurs. I'm scared to turn it on. This distortion still occurs. Oh, okay. That distortion is because I was playing. Okay. Okay. Once again, welcome to Can Angels Fly, Tarot and More. My name is Nancy, and I'm here for another Aquarius Rant. As you may be able to see above me, let me see if I'm pointing the right way. Yep, I think I got the right way. I'm talking about, hi George, how are you? Having technical, Nancy. I hope not. Is it messing up, George? Let me know. Is the volume crazy or something? Any glitching? This live stream or this Aquarius Rant is about the gift, dragons, and healthcare. In the course of this live stream, I will be talking about vaccinations. So, is there anything else I need to do? Oh, let me see. I keep trying to turn off these reoccurring, what they call it, monetizations. They have them where they come on so often. I don't want that. Okay, I know I got rid of it. So if y'all watch my videos, and it's a whole lot of videos, them skippable ads, I turned that stuff off. I have monetization on. See, it put it right there after I saved. After it wasn't there. They slick. They slick. I'm tired of them. I did it again. Okay. Yeah, I had unchecked it. And they checked it after I saved. After I saved, it came and checked. Okay. Happy I saw that. That's what's happening. That's crazy. Okay. Let me see. I did take. Oh, I like my thumbnail with me yarning. I think I'll keep it. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I clicked the board. So I'm going to wait for it to open up and close it. I was going to throw up a thumb, but I like the one with me yarning. So, okay. Let's see. Oh, come on, computer. Don't mess up on me now. Oh, I know. Number one. I guess it'll. Okay, it'll let me make it a little smaller so I can have it showing. Don't start. Don't start. Okay. Now, try to make this board smaller. Oh, that's really small. Am I getting smaller? Okay, well, where am I at? Okay. I'm gonna open this board up. It's fine. Thank you, George. How have you been? I miss you. I have missed you. I'm so happy you didn't drop by. I hope all is well. Okay. I'm gonna start here. I think the first thing I want to talk about is the gift. And the gift I'm talking about is the gift that's up under each of our proverbial Christmas trees. That's if you celebrate Christmas. But even if you don't celebrate Christmas, you still get a gift. And so I just want to talk about it. And this gift is depicted in the astrological energies for December 25th of this year. And I just took a look at December 25th. Why? Because it's Christmas. And what I found, well, I can't see my other board. Oh, I need to shrink this one. It's going to let me. Let's see. No, it's not letting me. Okay. Okay. I need both boards. Hi, Yanni. How are you? Still a busy bee? I miss y'all. That is my old crew. I love y'all. I miss y'all. Thank you for dropping by. Okay. I can see some. Maybe I do like that. Okay. So I want to talk about the astrological energies and what the astrological energies are suggesting for us on December 25th. Remember, energies don't just come and dissipate in a day. They set out to perform the task that they were commanded to by um, divinity, and then they begin to slowly dissipate. So I was just looking at the energies, and what I saw was truly, y'all, I don't know who, I gotta say this. Remember, this is an Aquarius rant, so y'all know I'll be all over the place. You know what I do? I ask you to ride the wave with me. But I don't know who encoded these stars. I really don't. I'm looking for answers. When or if I find out truly who encoded the messages in the stars, I'll let you know. I share with y'all at certain times it seems like there is something that is ethereal and it has much more wisdom than us that sends us messages via the stars. And then other times it seems like the Illuminati, these secret societies encoded messages in the stars. So no matter uh, where uh, an elitist may be in the world at any given time, they can decode the stars and know exactly what time it is. To know like when to hold them and when to fold them. You know, that's to say when to move or not move, etc., etc. And it will, I see that clearly, that using the stars as an encoding system as an excellent choice because it can't be tampered with. And because it can be handed down generation to generation, and again, it won't be tampered with. I forgot what I was about to say. And so I can see. And the reason why I bring that up once again, about if I'm not sure who has written these or encoded messages, you know, through the stars. Again, sometimes it seems like it's the 1 or 2%er, the elitist or something. And other times it seems like it's a supreme being. This time it actually seems like it is a supreme being or the creator. If you follow me, I may at times confuse you, but let me clarify something right here. Based on what I have learned over the last few years, it's a, and I always suspected is that there is a creator of this realm and this world, and its name is Yaltaboth. Yaltaboth, I think I'm saying it correct, possibly. And then there is the higher God, the God Almighty, the void, uh, the consciousness itself. And that God, the void, is the one that people that are in church think they're praying to and worshiping, etc., etc. But in fact, it seems that uh, religious worshipers are worshiping this God of this realm. You know, this God of this realm, again, Yaltabaoth, is a whole different creature than what most have been introduced to in the church. Okay, I'm going somewhere with this if I could just remember. Uh, Who wrote this message in the stars for December 25th, 2020? I'm not sure. But it seems like a divine being, an ethereal being. And this being is saying, and see, it only was a couple of little messages within an astrological wheel. But after I decoded one of the houses, you know, it's 12 houses, 1 through 12, Aries through Pisces, one house, and all the placements. I had to always sit back and literally ponder on it, meditate, contemplate, if necessary, do research to understand. So after I got through pondering what I decoded, I could see this image of a dragon in its lair, you know, like kind of just in its lair or sleep, and it's surrounded by all of its spoils, like treasures. I can see all this gold and these diamonds and these gems and these rubies in this cave with this big dragon. And I was like, but after I, you know, decoded the rest of, you know, the placements, I was like, what is going on, you know, in relationship to that analogy I just offered about the dragon and the other messages that were in the wheel. And I finally got it. So back to the dragon. What does the dragon represent? The dragon represents, I mean, how was it? Yeah. The dragon represents you. No, let me stop. Remember, the dragon is in his lair. The lair, just imagine, is like a cave within a mountain. That mountain is you. And the dragon is, remember I talked about spirits that cohabitate within each of us? Sometimes it's multiple spirits. I got to clarify something here. I don't think I've ever clarified. I did talk about it before. Is that whomever created us gave us our own soul. We have our own separate spirit. Remember, we're fragmented. So it is within our body. It is our spirit or our soul, as well as other spirits. I'm using soul and spirit interchangeably, even though they're not truly the exact same. But I'm gonna try not to be nitpicky in this video. So just ride the wave with me. Let me get away with it, because y'all know I'll be all off somewhere else. So we have our primary base spirit that was granted to us by our creator, whoever our creator is, whether it's Yaldabaoth or the higher God. Now I believe that Yaldabaoth and his crew, his minions, created us. But what was put in us to give us life, to animate us, was that which he took from his mother, which was the spark or the light or the jolt of the void, of the all-knowing God that we, you know, presume that we know. You have to read the story about Yaldabaoth, and I've often referred you to it. And the story is called, or the book is called, gosh dang it, the Apocryphon of John. I think that's which one it was. I don't know. I haven't read so many of them now. I think it was Apocryphon of John. And you'll come to understand what I'm actually talking about this God, this ram, and a higher God. Again, something that I had presumed anyway through my life experiences. And so, gosh dang it, the dragon in its lair, it is you, it is I, it is every individual in humanity that exists now. The dragon in the lair with all the treasures is symbolic or synonymous. Oh, that's what I was talking about. The cohabitating spirits are our gifted spirit, That is us. And then those other spirits that hitch a ride with us, I call the cohabitating spirits. For this part of my video, or for this video, I'm not talking about those additional cohabitating spirits. I've talked about the cohabitating spirits when I did the series talking about spirit talk, transformers, different things like that. Or when I did the video, as we entered 2020, talking about this is the year that you will be able to begin to see, and you'll be able to see the spirits. And I tried to give an example of the spirits that cohabitate within any given person. So I ain't talking about that. Oh yeah, and then I did the other video called being the captain of your ship or your vessel or your avatar. Because what? You have your own spirit, and there are other hitchhikers. Again, for this video, I'm not talking about the hitchhikers. I'm talking about that spirit that makes you you without any improper influences. That spirit right there. That spirit right there is the dragon itself. And your physical vessel is the mountain in which the dragon dwells. And the treasures represent everything that you've acquired in your life. From your state of consciousness, your awareness, how you communicate, how you think, you know, just how you process everything, your vessel, everything that you have acquired just because you came to this realm and took on this body. That's what the dragon and his lair and the treasures represent. I'm gonna try to make this make sense. I thought it would be easier. Do what? Ride the wave with me, if you will. I'm trying to go somewhere with this. So the astrological energy suggests that on December 25th of this year, each of us are with like in our own space. And we are with our soul, so to say, our own soul. And our soul has what? Acquired our unique configuration, or has its own unique configuration as well as our physical bodies, just because we came to this realm. And we are one with that. This is the part we're one with it. Why does that matter? Let me see. I'm trying not to read my notes, y'all. I'm trying to go off the top of my head. And then there is a axis, talking about the astrological wheel for December 25th. And there's an axis between the 3rd house and the 9th house, which is Gemini and Sagittarius. And Gemini's house says, hey, how do I say? Remember, I was talking about those cohabitating spirits and how in this life, in this experience, that we are improperly influenced. You know, we get hitchhikers. Well, the Gemini house, or the 3rd house of Gemini, represents our soul. Now, I'm talking about this whole astrological alignment for December 25th is all spiritual. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who wrote it or who encoded it, because it's all talking in the spirit. It's like seeing in the spirit. And it's saying, hey, this is each of you. You're the dragon in the lair with all the treasures. Then we got 2 aspects of who you are. One aspect, the Jupiter aspect, is where the creator, whoever our creator is, created you, your soul, and just your soul, and gave you the opportunity, the freedom, the liberty to come down into this realm and have this physical experience. But they call it a spiritual being having a physical experience. And throughout your lifetime, your physical lifetime, you are cultivating your spirit. You are learning. And I really would like to speak about this particular aspect in the astrological wheel, because it suggests this what they call it, idea that we've come to this planet to learn. That's what it suggests. That we were granted our individuality, the fragmented expression of our Creator, to come here and to live out our lives, however long they are, and to learn. And during the course of that physical worldly education, we will be cultivating our soul. We will learn, like, you know how it is, we forget that we're soul. We're soul. Oh yeah. Right, the consciousness. We forget that we're soul. And for a long time, I believe people have forgotten that they were soul. It stopped. Okay, pick back up. So, what was I saying? So, in the course of our lives, we came in here, we forgot we were souls, and we just really started participating in this physical experience. And over the course of our lives, again, it's about what is your true soul? What is the essence of your true soul? If our souls are righteous, as we move through this life, we're going to end up back at righteousness, is what it's saying. And it's going to show in our works. It's going to be displayed in our works, in our careers, in our ambition, in our relationships with each other. It's going to show. Now, that's just your primary base soul that the Creator gave you. Then back to Gemini, the third house of Gemini, it talks about our souls being improperly influenced and having those cohabitating spirits, such as anger and jealousy and I don't know, perversion or whatever the case may be. It could be a collage of spirits that dwell within a person. And the stars are saying, say, while you still in the vessel at this point in time. I'm gonna have to look at my notes, y'all, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I just want to talk about the gift of opportunity. It's the gift of opportunity. Oh, I know what it was about. It's saying, okay, now you in this physical body, your soul, talking to your soul is what the Creator is doing, or whoever encoded the stars. Hey, your soul, talking to your soul. It's your base primary soul that was granted to you by the Creator. You were sent here to this planet to learn some things, and you're going to end up right back where you came from. If you righteous, you end up righteous or whatever. But then, the souls also have this improper influence that many souls have been improperly influenced or influenced in some way or manner. And so that soul is a different soul now, and that soul will go somewhere else. Go somewhere else is what it was saying. But we're talking about this time, December 25th. It said that we have the opportunity, let's just say it's the gift of opportunity, to decide, or we're giving the patience, the ability to concentrate, to explore ourselves. I don't know how can I say this, because that takes a special type. I would think it takes a special type of ability. I can even say a superpower to be able to do spiritual work, especially when you don't know you're doing spiritual work. And I say that because a lot of people aren't spiritual. They may not have any, might not practice spiritualism or spirituality. They may not be religious. They may not care. We're all different. So what am I saying? I'm saying whether you in spirituality or not, whether you're religious or not, or whether you just, you know, just doing your thing. We're not. In some way, however these energies truly work with us, we're all going through this at the same time. And so we're evaluating the dragon, you know, ourselves in the you know, in the cave, and coming to understand, but we're given that time. Like, you know how the dragon be in there. Whenever you hear or see stories of a dragon, they have them in a lair and they usually sleep. They so comfortable, they curled up, you know, in their lair because they get all the treasures and stuff. It's that time, that quiet space, that time where it ain't, your mind ain't jumping around all over the place, you know, so you can really sense some things, you can really get some things done. And so what is the message suggesting that will be getting done? uh, it is suggesting that we will be, um, we see, analyzing, I guess it was another word I would like to use, but analyzing the state truly of our soul. I thought this was such an interesting message. That's why I was like, I'm going to share it. Let me see. I'm going to try to read these notes that I got because I'm trying to go off the top of my head. These are just the summaries I made up. It says each individual has within them cohabitating spirit. So I'm reading this. I'm just going to read it. Each individual has within them cohabitating spirit that resembles their true sense of physical worldly security and stability, moving in the real world within its complementary earthly domain. And that was interesting to me because it still goes back into, oh yeah, how can I say this one? I go back to the video I made. I don't want to click on any more boards because I got a few open. But it's the video. It's called The Knowing. The Knowing 2020, I do believe. If you haven't watched that video. And I gave some illustrations of the spirits that cohabitate within us. And I was saying that sometimes when a spirit is habitating within a vessel, when it has authority over the vessel or the avatar or the body, its features will surface. I told you all about how I've seen the devil and other entities, you know, come out of people that I've known for years um, face. And so my point is saying, like I said, I'm trying to say this a different way. I did a video called Devil Lived. And I talked about the depiction of the devil and why the artist decided to convey the devil the way we have grown to know the devil to look, or the Baphomet. It's all symbolism to suggest some type of character traits, etc., etc. So with the physical eyes, man, it's going to sound like I'm contradicting myself. You can't see these entities, but you can. Oh, man. I'm going to y'all just ride with me. You can see them, but you have to have a keen eye, the third eye. And so what am I talking about? I'm talking about how the astrological energies say that the appearance of our soul has an appearance. This is what the message was talking about. This was stripping me out. The message talked about how each of our souls have an appearance. It has an appearance. I don't know how to say that. It has an appearance. Whether your soul is still the true essence of of what, or something very close and similar to what the divine or God all gave you, that initial spark, it has an appearance. And if you have a soul that has improperly been influenced, it has mutated from that original spark, and it too has an appearance. And it's inside. It's inside. Remember, like the dragon is in his lair, it's inside of you. Remember, I'm going back over because it's these two paths. It's the opportunity that was granted to any spirit that was offered the opportunity to have a human experience. You got the spark. It's that path, and you may veer from it some because we come into this realm under the spell of forgetfulness. But if you true, you will continue as close to that path or come back to that path as you move through your life during this lifetime. And then there's others that came here with the same opportunity to have a physical experience, but they've been improperly influenced by outside stimuli, cohabitating experience, etc., etc. And that's the appearance of that soul, original soul, has mutated. It's like a person. They could be so beautiful when you meet them. And then you might see them 10, 20 years later. And you'd be like, what happened? The person might have got, been in a beat up or accident or domestic violence situation. They eye twitching or their nose broke or, lips split and just all kind of destruction. Jaw misunlined because of the take the whole thing. Just take the whole thing. We gotta get more tissue. What we get? Not much.
This phone here.
Oh, okay. I'm feeling hungry. Oh, y'all talking. I ain't even seen that. I love your rants while driving on an open road. Sign off now. Okay. Yes, I had a dream that I achieved my goals as a martial artist. I was fighting champion, and my name in the Orient is Dragon Black Fist. Get him, George. I may not have a third eye, but I have a third. You can't be on your best behavior, can you? I know you can't. LA, sorry about that, Nancy. You baked right now. Oh, that's all right, George. As long as you okay. What you call a black fist? Dragon black fist? I almost said something. See, George, you trying to improperly influence me. Let me go back to here and talk about this here. Oh, gosh. Oh, let me see. Uh-oh. I don't know. This laptop been messing up. Move this up so I can see. Okay. In case I stop being live. I know I stopped being live. Let me try to move forward faster. I don't want this to be real long because y'all know I be on here long-winded. And so our souls have an appearance. What else it was saying? That's what I was talking about, the appearance. And it went on and says, each individual has been indoctrinated or programmed, yet the opportunity exists for them to access what is this? Asset the merit of the doctrines and to revise or correct any and all improper, errors, or unwarranted doctrines. Now, I don't know about any doctrines that a dragon may have, but that's the image I got as far as our souls that dwell within our bodies. But this time period, December 25th, talks about each of us having the opportunity, again, to be able to slow down and truly like get in tune with our spirit, no matter how it appears or the state that it's in. And it's an opportunity, again, as mentioned, to evaluate, to see, you know, are we holding on to any inappropriate doctrines? And when I use the word doctrine, I know that we instantly begin to think about worldly doctrines like churches and religions. That stands true too. But I think it's more like natural law doctrines, because we're talking about spiritual. It's in C. Let's talk about natural laws, just as an example, or a Ten Commandment. One of the Ten Commandments, like thou shalt not kill, as an example. Well, there are some souls, and their appearance reflects that they believe in uh, destroying another. It shows an appearance, again, of the state of their soul. This is an opportunity for a person to look and say, I don't really believe in that. That is an appropriate doctrine or idea or ideology to follow after and revise oneself. And the doctrine, most spiritual and physical worldly doctrines, at this time could be revised. And it's going to be revised. Remember, we talking about, this message was from on the soul level. It was talking about pure straight soul. It was like it really didn't refer to the physical body at all, physical existence at all. It talked about the true soul. You can revise it right now. Another thing is, through our works in this physical world, we impact or influence our souls as well as others. And our souls are also healed and upheld through the works of ourselves and others. And is those doctrines that determine what we will do and will not do. That is to say, if we'll murder someone or if we won't. If we'll cheat someone or if we won't. If we'll be I don't know, wasteful of like natural resources or whatever we acquire or not. It's all about a doctrine or a belief or a philosophy, both in this case spiritual and physical. But it was really talking about, y'all, spirit. This was tripping me out. It talked about straight spirit. The straight spirit. It was talking about the straight spirit. I wish I knew how to really get that across. It was interesting. It's interesting. And it's saying, so you get to be able to, say maybe that's not quite right. Now, let me say this. The original spark, the joke that was granted to each of us, each spirit having the opportunity to have a human experience. A soul that is righteous, even though it may veer here and there from the straight and narrow path, it stays very close to the path of righteousness or returning back to the all, however you like to, that can be labeled or stated. I'll say it can be stated. Gosh dang. Okay. Using that as an example or standard for, again, righteousness and truly living this experience out and blissfully, I'll say, returning back to the all, the creator, however you like to label it. But then remember, there are those others that have came here, again, spirits that had the opportunity to have a physical experience, and their souls have been they have been improperly influenced, and their soul has been it has mutated. This is an excellent opportunity for these types of souls to correct themselves, because the astrological energy said y'all going somewhere. Y'all going somewhere else. Now, I know this sound weird, y'all. This is why it's so funky and freaky. It's because it sounds like heaven and hell. It really does. Now, mind you, I'm dealing with the stars. I'm dealing with the stars. I sit down, I pull up the astrological alignment for a time period, and I go from house to house. And the whole thing is that, how can I say it? Remember, there are 12 planets. There are 12 houses. And I think there are 9 planets or something like that. Plus there's asteroids and other things. Each of those elements or items that I've just mentioned have a definition I done stamped on. Bow. It helps me move faster. Bow. Listen to me talk on here. I try to use the same basic terminology over and over again so we can be on the same page. I don't know if it's working or not. Let me know below. Anywho, so when I do my interpretations of the stars, I can take a stamp for Taurus and put a stamp Taurus here when it appears, and when Taurus appears somewhere else on the board at the same time, stamp that same phase right there or right there in relationship to whatever it is aligned with or relating to or aspecting with, and then look at the definitions that I have for each of them to come up with a summary. Just that simple. I have no way of knowing that it's going to have a religious connotation when it has one, or if it has a scientific connotation. Pay attention to my interpretations of the stars. Sometimes it is spiritual. Sometimes it's religious. Sometimes it's scientific or has something to do with some branch of knowledge. Like when I did social engineering. That's what the stars said. It talked about social engineering. Now, social engineering is about one of the farthest ways you can get from spirituality. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who encoded these messages in using the stars. I don't know. I don't know if it was man and God told him to or whatever, but it worked. So, and I know it worked. I know it worked. I have predicted a lot of stuff. If you follow me and you pay attention to what I've said, I told y'all the only thing, if you really pay attention, the only thing I didn't say was COVID. All times past, if you look back, or if you got a reading from me, you already know. You already know. And then in my own private life, ooh wee baby, people don't even want me to talk. Be quiet. They want me to shut and throw away the key. But I say that because I have no idea what the messages are going to be at all. At all. So it's not like I'm trying to force something on it. The only reason you hear me use examples of common stories or tales or folklores is because once I get the interpretation of the astrological energies, I'm like, ah, dang. Well, that sounds like the story of baby Jesus. Because that's what it been to say, some type of narrative like that. Anywho, Aquarius Rant, I'm about to keep it moving. And so it's saying, okay, this is the opportunity. Oh, yep, and it's talking about where type of soul will go. That's why I went on that Aquarius rant, that ranting part, because it talked about where the soul will go. It says this soul, like for instance, the soul that we each were granted, the original state of it, that soul goes one place. It has one destiny. And these other souls that have been improperly influenced and mutated and don't take this opportunity to change, goes another place. Suggesting to me, it's heaven or hell. You know, I don't know if that's where you're going. And I might go there. Please don't let me go there. Please don't. Okay. This last summary, but I had one more. I didn't write it down. An individual's unique perspective teaches them. Oh, yeah. And that was what I just read. I'll read it again. Last summary that I have written down. An individual's unique perspective teaches them. I thought with the way the astrological a lot. Oh, I had one more. And one more. Uh, 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 um, the astrological alignments are. It's wow because that message lined up with like God. That's how I was saying that the message is saying, hey, this is an opportunity. People, souls had an opportunity to come down here and, well, spirits. I think the soul accompanies and the spirit is granted to us. And the soul is like memory foam and it remembers everything. Okay. So the soul and a spirit occupies the body. At one time, they one entity, and then they split upon death, and that's the whole thing. The spirit go back to God, and the soul is the impression or the imprinted message. Anywho, for this live again, I don't want to go into detail and try to keep it organized because I'm trying to go somewhere and go there quickly. And that's to the end of this live. So, it was saying this opportunity we were all granted, if you got to come here, if you were born in this realm, was truly an opportunity for a spirit to have a spirit to have a physical experience. And each of our lives are completely different. And even though our lives are completely different, we all are learning from a different perspective. It's like that fragmentation I talk about. The fragmented expression of the Creator. It's like no matter which path, we're saying no matter which path you done took, you can understand if you've been improperly influenced or not. Or if you on the right path or not, you know it. It's saying by your own unique life experience. Keeping with the season, Ebenezer Scrooge, his life and whatever it consists of, he knew. He knew who he was. The soul knew what it was. It embraced and accepted what it was. Let's see. Santa Claus. He knew exactly who he is. Whatever his soul is truly, he accepted it. You know, either you're righteous or you're unrighteous, and you know it. That's what we're saying. You know it. Each of our life experiences is like nobody's in the dark. We're neither one of us are in the dark about our souls and about the impact or what's going to happen to our souls. We're not confused about our souls. We're not confused about uh, the state of our souls. We are not confused about where our souls are going. We are, it's like we have selected to ignore it, but we know. It's weird. This was wild. He said, you know it. You know it. Your own unique perspective. And you know when you need to correct yourself. And I'm talking about correct yourself in the physical, but as a as as in direct, what do you call it, like parallel to it, you also know what you need to do to improve the state of your soul. It said, you know, no matter what your life experience are, whether you have come up in an abusive home or relationship, if you're Tiny Tim, if you, I don't know who you could possibly be or what you may have possibly gone through, the good, the bad, the ugly, the uglier, and the most beautiful. You know. It said, you know. Now that's some deep stuff. Again, who encoded this? The next summary is God has granted each individual soul. Okay, I talked about that. And then it was one other, the other summary I didn't do talked about like who we have become in this world. You know, who have you become in this world? And how it just basically is like a physical manifestation or how about this, your physical worldly experience or life is a physical manifestation of the true nature of your soul. I talked about that before, about how like abortion is a big issue. Like some people are anti-abortion, you know, it's wrong, you're not supposed to do this and that. Whatever your works, if you are abortionist and do it, that's a testament to your soul. If you don't, it's a testament to your soul. If you're against it, it's a testament to your soul. Whatever your stand is on it, it's a testament to your soul, and is a physical manifestation of your soul. I mean, this is real deep. It was real deep. Where was that? That was in the 10th house in relationship to, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So remember, I was talking about this axis between the third house of Gemini and the ninth house of Sagittarius. Talking about either you got the original soul and you got the improperly influenced soul. Either way, like in the physical world, the little aspect of physicality it covered, it said in the world, again, there's work you will do and you won't do. Somewhere along the way, you will figure out something wrong. And you can revise yourself. But this is the time that if you have been improperly influenced and your soul has been distorted in some way, um, and you're not righteous, you're using religious terms, uh, this is the time. Through your works, you've already discovered that you need to make some changes. This is like a by the stars bringing this up. It suggests to me like something more conscious than ourselves is saying, "Hey, this is your opportunity right here to decide. If you're gonna straighten yourself out. You've been improperly influenced. You corrupt, you righteous, unrighteous, or whatever. This is your opportunity." You know what I'm saying? You got all your treasures right here with you. And that's interesting because most of us are quarantined. You got all your physical worldly treasures with you, and you got all your intangible treasures with you. Again, like your thoughts, your mind, your ideas, your ideology, the way you communicate, how you feel. You got all your treasures with you. You one with them. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I thought that was just really interesting. So I'm going to let that alone for right now because I want to go on and talk about, I guess I need to talk about this because, and stop beating, oh gosh, okay. COVID. Excuse me. Hi, 1-2, how are you? How are you? Hope all is well. Thank you for dropping by. So as I stated earlier, I was going to talk about healthcare. That is to say, I'm talking about vaccines. And so I'm going to use the word vid. Most of you may already know where I got that from. It's from Kevin Hart, his latest stand-up comedy, called it the vid. COVID-19 or the coronavirus, called it the vid. So for this video, I'm going to call it the vid. Thank you, Kevin Hart. Anyway, so number one. Oh, I'm gonna read some stuff off the internet tonight. I'm not gonna show it because I don't know if I can show it. This is an Aquarius Rant. I don't know if I can show it. I don't want no legal issues. I ain't got time for it. Uh, and I ain't got time. So I'm gonna read some stuff and also refer to you some things. So, anywho, first thing, healthcare. The rush to create and administer presumed life-sustaining vaccinations to a majority of the world's population. We know that is trending now. So I told myself right here, right now, go to Wikipedia and read vaccination. Okay. So I'm going to read. I'm going to Wikipedia. I already got the page open up. Hopefully my laptop and the internet will be merciful. Okay. So right now, I'm going to once again state where I'm going, my source, and what I'm reading about. If you like to, of course, you can follow along on your device now or at a later time. Right now, I'm at Wikipedia behind the scenes. I'm not showing the Wikipedia page because I don't know if I legally can or if I'm going to have some issues. I ain't got time for that. So I'm just going to read it. And I'm reading on vaccination. Vaccination, and I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. If you know me, you know I'm going somewhere with this. Actually, do what? Ride the wave with me. Okay. Vaccination is the administration of a vaccine to help the immune system develop protection from a disease. Vaccinations contain a microorganism or virus in a weakened, live, or killed or proteins or killed state, or proteins or toxins from the organism. in stimulating the body's adaptivity immunity. They help prevent sickness from an infectious disease. I read on and I highlight this part here. It says, when a significantly large percentage of the population has been vaccinated, in this case, we're talking about the world. When a significantly large percentage of the population has been vaccinated, which is, this is a term I want you to embrace, herd, H-E-R-D, immunity results. What am I saying? What am I asking you to hold on to? Herd, the term herd immunity. Because herd immunity protects those who may be immune compromised and can't get a vaccine because even a weakened version would harm them. Let's see. So what do I want to go over and highlight in that paragraph I read? It talked about how a vaccination is a vaccine to what? Help the immune system. To do what? Protect it from a disease. Okay. It says that a vaccine is made up of that's little, organisms. And those, or virus. And it can be either that virus or that microorganism can be weakened. It can be alive. The specimen, the little microorganism can be alive. Or it can be in a killed state. Okay. It says, or it can be a protein or toxins from the organism. That's how they make the vaccine. That's what they inject in the person in order to help what? Them build up an immunity against a disease. Okay. And another important matter here is that it is necessary for a significantly large percentage of a population to be vaccinated, the herd, in order to create a herd immunity. Now, when it comes to the vid, remember, it's not just in the United States. It's not just within one state in the United States. No, this is supposed to be worldwide. So we're talking about the powers that be having an interest in vaccinating the world's population. Of course, they won't most likely be able to vaccinate all 7.8 plus billion people, how many ever people are in the world. But if they can do a large majority of the population, that is considered a herd immunity. That's to say, a greater part of the population should be immune to any given threat. Okay, I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. I'm going to just leave that open because I ain't ready for it. Let's see. The next thing I have here. The people do not trust the government. Why don't the people trust the government? What do I have written here? Vid-19 has a hidden agenda. Oh, yeah. A lot of people feel like the emergence of the vid, at this intensity, pandemic intensity, is truly has a hidden agenda behind it. And I can understand why a lot of people believe that. I even believe it. But I'm going to tell you why I believe it. Because last year, when I did my readings for early 2020, in 2019, when I did the readings for 2020, I saw that back to the astrological energies, how crazy they are, how intense they are. The reading that I got back there in December, or I don't know, when did I do the video called The Secret Message. Might have been October. No, October, November. I don't know. The Secret Message. In The Secret Message, I gotta look. Because when was that? Because astrological energies ain't no joke. They're not no joke. I'm very thankful that I, embraced astrology. I really am. And really studied hard. Okay, let's see. What am I looking for behind the scenes? You can't see me doing it, but I'm doing it because I want to know exactly when I made the video, The Secret Message. But of course, my computer won't act. But what time is it? It's 11. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to move on. The reason why I believe that there's a hidden agenda attached to, the VID-19 is because of the astrological message that I decoded last year, 2019. And that message said that it was time for basically a plan to be unleashed that would destabilize the population, destabilize humanity. Okay, now them lies, that wasn't no lie, was it? I don't think it was a lie. Destabilize humanity, and it was the astrological energies had me compare the time period that we went through the year 2020 to the Great Depression of the 1930s. And you watch that video, I went into detail because I was tripping. I was like, that was really detailed, just like this message about the soul. And it's not the first message I've gotten about the soul, but it's most recent message about the soul. So I only knew before last year. I only knew that a Great Depression happened. I only knew about it. I didn't know about any details. I didn't know that it was a scam or a plan. It was another planned scenario, life-changing scenario. The people that got rich during this time, it was planned. After the fact, after all the fat lady saying, after all the cards had been played, looking back at history, everybody, they all knew. Only people didn't know were the common people that that the rug was going to be pulled from under them. All the major stores back then, all the millionaires, billionaires, they got together intentionally and made a plan. I'm gonna stop. Made a plan and then executed it. It's known now. I haven't talked about, and that's when I learned about the game Monopoly was invented as like a blueprint of their plan, and they sold it back to the people. And I talked about how that's a hell of a slap in the face. All that I got from the astrological message last year. So if I got that last year and knew, I didn't know it was going to be the vid. Like I said, I couldn't imagine that in a million years. I knew at some time it would be some natural disaster, and I never considered a pandemic as a natural disaster, but indeed it is. I overlooked that, didn't I? No. What year is this? I'm trying to find when I did. No, don't you expand that large. You put me in the dark. Okay. Put that over there. Oh, grant me the serenity. Goodness gracious, board. Let's see. Now. Okay. Now, 2019. Okay. Go back this way. Maybe it was a lie. Did I do it live? Must have been live. I didn't think it was alive. No, I'm talking about the Great Depression because again, I only knew and heard. Only thing I heard about the Great Depression is that there was one that occurred, and how people were hungry, and rich people off themselves. That's the extent of what I knew about the Great Depression before the astrological energies directed me to that past event. And in order to create the message, I end up having to do research on it. And I got to understand who the major players were during that time period. And because the stars to give me so much information to compare are at that time are soon to begin to unfold circumstances and situations, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt there is an attached hidden agenda to the COVID-19. So I say that because I understand why people don't trust their gov. What's like .gov? They don't trust their .gov. I'm gonna say it like that for now. They don't trust they got .gov. Um. Okay, I must have been alive, or did I'm not gonna say that they did that. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna say, okay, this whole year has gone past. All right, the next thing, 2019 astrological energies forewarned of life-changing situations and or circumstances shoving the world into another Great Depression. How did the stars know? Okay, I did that already. January 2020. Why does that look so? The Knowing, See into 2020 is the video I did where I tried to illustrate the spirits that some of the spirits that cohabitate within individual. Let's see. That's October. Where's my video at? You gotta be here. Oh, is it open? I gotta see if I got it open. It wasn't the best video. Yeah. Actually, I did my prediction for 2020 August 24th, 2019. August 24th, 2019, I predicted what was to come for 2020. Go on, girl, with your bad self. Okay. Minus knowing that the vid was the trigger. Was the what do you call it, trigger? Okay. I'm still going somewhere with this, y'all. Next thing I got here, trying to move along quickly. Why don't the people want to take the vaccination? Okay. We talk about how people don't trust their .gov. So, why do people, Gov is saying, hey, we got to, in order to get back to what's normal or something similar to what was once normal, in order to open back up the world, we need you to take these vax. People don't want to take the vax. Why don't people want to take the vax? Many of these things you've already heard of, but we're going to cover them today anyway. Number one, it was a hasty creation. And I'm going to talk about this hasty creation. The next thing in detail in just a moment. The number two is big business, billionaires, and private stakeholders' interests. That's talking about Bill Gates and all them, and Fauci and whoever else investing. What are they going to reap? What kind of benefits are they going to reap from creating a vac? The next reason, number three, is I heard, this is hearsay, that 6 people, test subjects, perished. I know I'm not the only one hearing these kind of things. And 6 people perished in a study? Oh, okay. I don't know how many people was in the study, but 6 people seems like quite a bit. Number 4, why don't people want to take the vax? Is because the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. about the mark of the beast. People are really sensitive to that biblical prophecy, the mark of the beast. And I can also understand that, because for the first time in a long time, it seems like our consciousness has changed. I want to stop right there. Consciousness change. And go over here. I want to talk about something else. And what I want to talk about, let me see if I'm still live. Oh, goodness. I'm going to keep talking. I'm jumping subject matters. This is an Aquarius rant, so I can do whatever I want. And right now, I want to jump subject matters. The last thing we talked about is why the people of the world don't want to take the vax. And I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. I want to go over here to this other paper and talk about what I've been diving off into in my personal time. And what I've been doing is reading the book of Revelations. I've been out to church a long time, but all of a sudden, I was doing some research about a month ago on WHO, the World Health Organization, that WHO. And when I was doing research on WHO, subconsciously, I pick up on names because I'm just skimming, scan reading. But I pick up on names and dates and, states and areas and time periods. And every now and then, it stick. And I started reading the book of Revelations just because I haven't been in the Bible in a long time. And recently, the astrological energies dealt with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And I did that in the last live stream or so. And so I went on back. I said, well, I'm going to go back and start reading whatever, Revelation one more time. Because it's been a long time. That now that my attention has been turned back to Revelations through the previous astrological energies I just read, or reading I gave, talking about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So I went back to chapter 1 and I began to read. And I couldn't get through chapter 1 before I believe I was picking up on something. And so what did I think I'm picking up on? And I'm going to jump somewhere else after I say a little bit about this. I got it open here. Revelations. Gotta read again. I ain't trying to convert nobody. I'll just be picking up on some things. And sometimes these synchronicities seem like they more. They're more than just they are synchronicities. So it's pointing me to something. So what happened there? Okay. Is this it? Okay. What part should I read? I want to read it all. I want to read chapter 1. I'm not going to read it all, but a lot of it. Because not a lot, but some. But I'm going somewhere with this. It says, oh shoot, it moved. Okay, I don't have to. And I'll let you know when it's important. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his servants what must soon take place. This first sentence right here leads me to want to refer you to a couple of videos I made. One video was something called The Life of Jesus Christ through artwork, or The Life of Jesus Christ through artwork, or through history in artwork, or something like that. I refer you to that video. And I also refer you to the one where it talks about, oh, God, please forgive us, for we knew not. God, please forgive us, cause we knew not. And the thumbnail is 2 ladies on their knees praying and begging for forgiveness. I refer you to that one. And the reason why I refer you to those 2 videos is because I cover what I've come to understand about the character Jesus Christ or what it represents, as well as I also talk about um, the God of this world and his influence. And so you get more in-depth information on those two subject matters, which is Jesus Christ and the God of this world. Okay, I continue to read. He made it known by sending his angel to his servant John, who testifies to everything he saw. That is the word of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ. Blessed is the one who reads aloud the words of this prophecy, and blessed are those who hear it and take it to heart what is written in it, because the time is near. And what's interesting to me, when it says the time is near, I know that the messages were written before they were authorized and published by King James, and I think the King James Bible was, I think, published in 1611 or something like that. But it says the time is near, which is interesting. And I'm going somewhere, and it talks about in that chapter A. I'm about to tell you a prophecy. Here's a prophecy. Know this, And so I drop down. I continue to read. I'll let you know when it's real important. John, writing this letter, he's talking to John. It says, to the 7 churches in the province of Asia, grace and peace to you from him who is and who was and who is to come, and from the 7 spirits before his throne, and from Jesus Christ, who is the faithful witness, the firstborn from the dead, and the ruler of the kings of the earth. Still reading. To him who. Now this is real tricky. I'm telling you, when it comes, if I am truly perceiving and comprehending something here as I revisit Revelations, these secret societies, the Illuminati, they are master magicians. And they weren't educated by any old basic worldly human being. They were not. Because if I'm still studying, y'all, I'll let you know my findings when I find it. But I'm going to show you what I have picked up so far. I was reading, and I'm about to read these words, last couple of words again. To him who. To him who. Now, when I was talking about whomever writes these scriptures, has written these scriptures, like I say, the master magicians, master encoders. Again, if I'm doing this right, and even if I'm not doing this part right, they still are. Because prophecy, remember this is a prophecy. And the time is drawing near. To him who? How do I say to him who? To him who? The World's Health Organization. Who? As I read from here on out, the word who is going to keep coming up, and as well as the word him. H-I-M. When I was reading through Revelations a few days ago, about a week or so ago, I was like, hot dang, could it be that this chapter, how can I say this, is has been preparing the powers for a day such as this, or a period such as this, in which we're dealing with the vid. And vax, the vid and the vax. The vid and the vax. Listen, I'm going to read and try to make it make sense in a minute. So, it says to him who. Let me stop. This might help me do it better. So, when I had this awakening, this realization, when I was reading this chapter, when I was reading these verses, I was like, who? Well, let me go over to this website and research who. You know who I'm talking about when I say who. I'm talking about who. So when I research who, I find out it's connected to him. H-I-M. So you got to try to ride away with me here, if you will. I'm trying to go somewhere with it. So I'm going to read now. It's who. We know who the who is. What? World Health Organization. And him. H-I-M. And him, let me tell you, because I don't have those notes here. Him. I should have pulled it up. Let's see. Oh, my computer gonna act up. It was called Information Management. Is it Health Information Management? What was it? Oh, here it's right here. Oh, okay. Not that. Not that. Where is that? Health Information Management Practice. Health Information Management Practice. Okay, I'll come back to that. Oh my God. It go deep, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. It go too deep. I ain't going to try. So I'm going to finish reading. Remember, who, the who we know, and him, the one I just introduced you to. They're related, interlinked, and interdependent upon each other. And is one of our world constructs, and it's healthcare. You know, okay. So, to him who loves us and has freed us from our sins by his blood and has made us to be a kingdom. Oh, if you want to hear me talk about kingdoms, locate the video I did called Your Ass is Grass due to the world's greatest pyramid scheme. And I talk about kingdoms at the beginning of that video. So we understand what a kingdom really is here in this world at this time. It says, and priests to serve his God and Father. To him be glory and power forever and ever. Amen. I continue to read just a little bit longer. It says, look. Look. Huh? You should go cook something. Huh? You should go cook something. There's some chicken down there or something. Whatever. He says, look, he is coming with the clouds. Look, he is coming with the clouds. Y'all, stop. Stop. How can I say this? I don't want to go in too much because I get lost in it. Look, he's coming in the clouds. Let me see if I can kind of do this like this. Do you have any information stored in the cloud? It goes deeper than this upon research. But I'm just trying to simplify it so I won't get stuck here. I really didn't want to spend a lot of time on this particular part. But do you have any information in the cloud? What is this scripture? What does this scripture say that I was reading? I know you can't see it. I'm reading it to you because I don't know if I can show Wikipedia to you while I'm, you know, doing these lives or not. Now I don't know illegal issues, so I ain't got time. So it says, hey, look, he is coming in the clouds. Now I know you're saying, Nancy, you reaching. You know, you're reaching upon researching. No, I'm not. I do believe that this term clouds used here in this 7th verse of the 1st chapter of Revelation is literally talking about the computer clouds that we know of now. I'm not going to go in detail, show you how I got it. Feel free to do your research. And I continue to read. It says, and every eye will see him. Every eye will see him. Him. Every eye will see him. Understand him in relationship to who is the health information management. Let me stop. Okay. Even those who pierced him and all on earth will mourn because of him. All on earth will mourn because of him. Remember, him is the health information management system. This is a computerized data system that keeps track of everybody and in their health records. Everybody in the earth will mourn because of him. Because what are they saying? They're saying, hey, did I stop before I did it? I did. Let me stop. No, let me finish reading. They're going to mourn because of him. And so shall it be. Oh, so shall it be. Anybody that's in the magic, know when somebody say, so shall it be, that means it's a stamp on it. That means it's going to happen. The spell has already been cast, and it's just a matter of time. Earlier in this chapter, it said, hey, the time is near. It goes on reading the 8th verse of the 1st chapter of Revelation, and I'm going to end there. It says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, says the Lord God, who is, who was, and who is to come, the Almighty. If you study, if you study out the Alpha and the Omega in detail, not what we learned in the church about the beginning and the end. You know, and the first will be the last will be first. All those things we quoted and regurgitated in the church. No, if you study the Alpha and Omega, it deals with, oh my God, so many things. I don't want to go into it. The layers. So they're master magicians and encoders. But we starting to talk about when you take chapter 7 and chapter 8. I mean, verse 7 and verse 8, and you research it and break it down. When was this Bible authorized? I think, if I'm correct, it was 1611. Since 1611, they already knew about the computer systems that they were going to have up and running. I did a live stream, another Aquarius Rant, just a short while ago. And one of the subject matters I covered or entitled was Cowboys and Aliens, right? Like the movie Cowboys and Aliens. And that me using those two terms, or that title, Cowboys and Aliens, is me summing up a question. How much more advanced is science and technology than the people are aware of? That movie, Cowboys and Aliens, suggests that back in the early 1900s, there existed technology far more advanced than even what we have now, back in the 1900s and even before. What am I saying? I'm saying when this Bible was commissioned and written and commissioned and published, they already had the technology that we are dealing with today. The plan was already in motion. And I don't get enough views to sit here and show you the method of my research to help you see. Again, maybe you can try for yourself. The couple of clues I gave you is who and him. I know that seems so insignificant and seem like what they call nouns or pronouns or something like that, who and him, but they mean so much more. That word clouds in this paragraph, not paragraph, what they call a verse, is talking about computers. The Alpha and Omega is talking about the computers. This technology was being developed at this time. And it's telling of the time that this system is going to come and play, and how they were going to have to keep count of the population. Where's the notes at? Let me try. I'm going off the top of my head. So they're going to have to keep count of the population, all the data on a person, the medical history. That's what medical history. It talked about. It went in more detail about the development. It ends up taking you into the development of these of computing. And this is not the only verse. This is not the only book I've been to and decoded the message where it talks about computing. Computing. And when I'm saying computing, using that term, I'm telling you, again, this is not the first time that I ran into a scripture that talked about computing or creating computers or AI in this Bible. And it's not the first time that I've had an interest in computer technology, I guess is the words, terms, I don't know. And so, like, I even took classes, a class in college, I think it was called CSI 101, and didn't go nowhere with it very much. Didn't go nowhere with it much. That's so interesting. That class, I'm about to sidebar right here, right now. This is an Aquarius rant. I can say and do just about anything, even offer TMI. And I want to talk about when I took that class. I think it was called CSI or CIS or something. 101, 102, 1001, whatever it was. It was a basic level computer something. I ain't know nothing about computers, but I was interested. And this teacher, throughout my college years, I lost a lot of professors, and they were Caucasian. So I bring up them being Caucasian because this system is not biased at all about who they gonna get rid of. These instructors, these professors, some that held doctrines, they were banished, ostracized by these universities, because these people, the ones that I'm referring to, you don't know, but the ones I'm talking about from the heart, when they came to class, they didn't just come to the class just on with textbook. They didn't just come with the textbook. Yes, they taught us the textbook, but they also went in so much more depth, and they themselves had questions that, of course, they probably didn't ask. They may or may not have, but they didn't ask their superiors. It almost seems to me that somebody was spying on them all the time or something. Because how did all these instructors, when I look back, they got rid of them because they were asking questions, and I know, and had concerns even then about like where technology is going, what it was capable of doing, those kind of things. Because I know that because this is the kind of dialogue the professors had with me and my peers. I mean, I don't remember learning nothing in that class about computers not very much, because the instructor was really smart, but he talked about, all I remember is that I loved him and I loved the energy that he put in. I can't think exactly. All I know, he had a discontent for technology, but not a discontent, a concern, major concerns, and that's what he was giving over to us. Now, he taught us everything in the books and the textbooks and everything, all the terminology. I just don't remember it, but it was that extra mile. It was the extra. Professor or instructor went the extra mile, and they talked from the perspective of the positions that they held and the roles they held. And these people, many of them, end up resulting to teaching, but they had held prominent roles in upholding a construct. So they had higher level positions. A lot of them had higher level positions. Woo! And they was getting rid of them. They was getting rid of them left and right. That's so interesting. I stopped. I had to think about that because I knew at the time. I knew at the time. I was like, ooh wee. I didn't at the time. I didn't know our system was that corrupt, but they got rid of them people quick. They get rid of people in any social construct. If a person righteous and doing the work for the people, they get rid of them. That's 100. I know I sidebar. I'm going back. What have I been talking about? Well, I was just reading from the first chapter of Revelations, and I'm sharing with you my beliefs. This is my theory. And I have done research on it. You know, I have stacks and stacks of paper. And the stacks and stacks is somewhere. I can't do it. I keep saying I'm going to pan this camera around so y'all can see this room and all this mess and these papers and stuff. But I ain't going to do that to y'all. I ain't going to scar y'all for life. Might make you feel better about yourself. I don't know. I'm just all over the place. This is an Aquarius rant. Anywho, I was reading the first chapter of Revelations, and my theory is that this portion of the Bible is by portion is talking about um, science, engineering, and technology of the future. The plan was already in motion. The plan was already in motion, and is just not prophesying that there would be advancements in science, engineering, and technology. It actually, the reason I started sidebarring about the teacher, the instructors, is because it's talking about the formula, I guess I could say, because I don't know the appropriate terminology, the formula to create these computing applications or machines or intelligence, this computing intelligence in machine form. It talks about that in detail when you decode it. And again, this is not the first time. And I think I brought it up last time I ran into it. Um, I really think it was possibly in the video where I just referred you to earlier. It says, "Forgive us, God, for we knew not. We knew not. Forgive us, God, for we knew not." I think I talked about me running into some books that dealt with computing. Computing. Oh, Mount Sinai, because even Mount Sinai, I could take that a whole lot. So I don't know if these people, the powers that be, the elitists, the 1 or 2 percenters, if they are taking these, you know, um, historical documents and drawing a name from them, and then slapping them on whatever they create, most recently, or if this Bible written over 300 and 20 something years ago, 309 years, whatever it's been. What's that name? No, that's 400 years, 409 years or something, whatever it is. Since that this Bible has been authorized, um, or was it foretold? Which one is it? Which one of it? Which one is it? The scripture hasn't changed, so it's one or the other. But to be able to sit here, for me to be able to sit here and decode the information that's in a particular verse. Now, I'm not going into a decoding looking for that. I don't know what I'm going to find when I'm decoding something. But to find, when you sit down and break it down, when it starts talking about chemistry, or right now, like I'm saying, I'm talking about computing. When I say computing, I'm talking about the fine, intricate details. This is why I keep trying to say, and I keep missing it. I can't find the beginning of computing. I don't understand. What's the name of that movie? Hidden Figures. Hidden Figures. That movie with Taja Hall, whatever her name is, her. And I looked at that movie, and they were supposed to be there at the onset of IBM, I think, or something, or computing. And I remember one of the characters went to the library. I can never remember the lady name. She was in the movie Helper too, or Help. She went to the library to get a book. And she wasn't able to get the book because it was in an all on white section only. So she ended up having to steal the book to get the book to read it in order to be able to perform what she was taking upon herself to program this new computer. But I'm looking like the computer already exists. This is where I am with all of it. Because I've been trying again to figure out the beginning of computing. I want to know the beginning of computing. And I have done some research. It's just so much and so many layers. It's complex. And as a what do you call it? I guess amateur with an interest in computing, I don't know how to separate all the components or parts to computing to be able to just study one branch of it. in order to get a conscious awareness, a comprehensive conscious awareness of what I learned or end up teaching myself. And then once I can identify the different branches associated with like computing, then once I got a clear understanding what's what and what goes together, then I'll be off and running to be able to understand like where the internet comes from. How is it housed? How is it processed? How is it worldwide? You know what I'm saying? Because all of this, based on what I'm seeing, no, you don't know, so I'm sharing. What I'm seeing, I can't even fathom. I can fathom the consciousness of God before I can fathom how the consciousness of the internet exists. That's a deep statement. I can't fathom how we all can be online simultaneously at the same time. Where is all this memory stored? Those kind of things. And we can access different things at the exact same time. I can't comprehend it. And why wasn't I offered a job in that field? Why am I sitting here? You know what I'm saying? That I don't get that. I never ever was offered a job in that field. Never saw anything on the horizon relative to it at all. And so I have these concerns and issues that I've developed over the course of my life. I'm the dragon. I'm in that cave. I'm the dragon in the lair. So I do have these questions. And anywho, I really want to know, because when I read the Bible, y'all know it's time for me to partake in my vices. So thank you for entertaining me. I'm not trying to improperly influence anybody. Smoking is horrible. It's deadly. Don't do it. It can lead to COPD and all kind of stuff, and you don't want none of it. Cancer too. I might as well say the word cancer can lead to cancer. You don't want that. I'm saying that term cancer for a reason. It's gonna come back later. Hopefully, if I can locate the information. Anywho, I really am interested in understanding computing, and my interest in understanding computing has increased since I found this. These what do you call it? Encoded messages or logs, encoded logs in the Bible. But again, it's overwhelming. Even in the Bible, it's overwhelming. It is dealing with too many. It's dealing with all, it appears, of the branches associated, like with computing, wherever the Bible deals with that subject matter. I don't know where each branch begins or ends. And so I just threw that out there. Okay, let's see. I don't have a phone. Hey, Pearl, come here. Now I want to say this, and I've said it before, and we know this, that we are in a time period in which humanity is awakening. And we are awakening, I think, for different reasons. But the primary reason is that we got to keep up with technology. We can't be too far out of reach of where it is. We have to be somewhere near. Huh? Huh? Please, if not you, Alexis, if not you, that Jacob. And don't use that same coffee. It was water. It was hot water, please. Mm. And I'm so hungry. Who's going to feed me? I don't know. Okay, ask your bro. Let me be on my best behavior while I'm live. Okay. So where am I at? Y'all, if y'all saying anything, I can't see it because I'm on a whole different page. So I was about to talk about the consciousness of humanity and how we are awakening. Yesterday or the day before, I was watching. I seen a little video. You know how YouTube suggests videos, and it was a Bible story. It probably suggested this video because where is that? This is my channel. I'm gonna go here to my history. It probably suggested this video to me because of the holiday season. Let's see, where is it? Ooh, excuse me, y'all. My computer running slow. Oh, doggone it. Is that right? Nope, that's wrong. Supposed to be up here. Not supposed to be there. Oh, maybe I gotta go back to your channel. I'm gonna go here. Hopefully it doesn't have any sound. I don't know what this thing is gonna do. Anywho, if this video by chance, ooh, they put another thumbnail of me on there, but that's okay. Okay, here's my history. That's just because I just want to share this video that was suggested to me by YouTube. Is this the one? I end up falling asleep. Ouch. As full episode, this might be it. I don't know. Don't make no noise. Don't make no noise. Don't make no noise. I don't want to. Don't make. Mother, don't make no noise. Yep. Okay. Okay. This is the video that YouTube suggested to me, and it probably was suggested to me because of the holiday. You know, the season. And it's called The Nativity, Christmas and Jesus' Birth, Jesus, His Life, episode 2, full episode history. It's on the History Channel. So when I say history, it's the History Channel. And it's the Nativity. And I watched this. I watched the video right before I went to sleep, and I couldn't. I'm laying in the bed, and when what I guess the commentators, I don't know who they are, you know, just putting on the show, talking, I'm trying to go to sleep, but the stuff they kept saying, I opened my eye like, look over at the TV, roll, look. And the reason why I was doing that was because I was like, hot dang, our consciousness has awakened. And we are aware of where we were truly asleep. And let me explain being asleep, an example of being asleep. Number one, the Mandela effect is one. If you don't know what the Mandela effect is, Google it. But this is another way that you could be assured that we're waking up. In this video that YouTube referred to me called The Nativity, it's on the History Channel. The host, I guess, were talking about, they were narrating the story of the Nativity and the Annunciation. That's where the angel come to Mary and tell her she's pregnant and all that kind of stuff. And also his birth, Jesus' birth. And as they were narrating the story and breaking it down as they moved along, their interpretation was quite different from what I had heard any other time in my past, whether I was in church or whatever the circumstance or situation may have been in the past. You know, I heard, hey, Jesus, Mary was immaculately impregnated by God, the Holy Spirit. The angel came and told her she was going to have God's baby. She told Joseph. Joseph was cool with it. When the time came, they went to Bethlehem, I think, to pay some taxes. And then she went into labor. What no openings in the end, they had to go to the little barn, and Jesus was born amongst the animals. While then it was this Christmas star up there, the Northern Star, and that Northern Star guided people to the location of Jesus. And three prominent figures were the three magi, or the three kings, and they came bearing frankincense, myrrh, and gold. And so it just talks about this this exciting, event. So the other day it was last night or night before, when I'm watching this video, and it's not the first one I've seen, nor the first commentary or statement that I've listened to, where I'm hearing the dialogue or the storyline of traditional tales being distorted or tweaked. I'll say tweaked to fit our current state of consciousness, our awakened state. What do I mean? I'm saying when I was going through the church, when I was a kid, as well as when I was going through the church as an adult, I never really questioned that Joseph didn't trip out on Mary when he found out she was pregnant. Now we know in real life, if you are engaged to a man and you turn up pregnant and he ain't the one that's to touch you, all hell gonna break loose. But that's not what happened. Joseph was accepting. He had a moment of concern, but it wasn't that concerning that it really made an impact on the reader. you know. But in when the video that I watched the other day, that's what they talked about. How Joseph had to deal with that, and how he was a shining example of a man stepping in to take care of a child that wasn't his, and a woman that had been spoiled by somebody else. That was that. It was like it was tweaked. The whole tale was tweaked. The tale was tweaked when it came to the manger part. See, they didn't say it wasn't a room in a manger. It wasn't extra. It wasn't any room left in the guest house or something. And I mean, it was. I was just listening like, what the heck? My whole point is saying that we know, keeping with that story, in real time life, if you engage to somebody and you come up pregnant and they ain't the one that did it, it's going to be a problem. See, back in the day, none of us questioned the church. That's where we were asleep. That's a representation of being asleep or drowsy. Like, okay, you immaculately conceived and you about to have a baby by God, and this man Joseph ain't saying nothing, and the family ain't saying nothing. No, Joseph probably married her to keep her from being shamed, or want you him, or not her being shamed, because we know we some selfish, egotistical, narcissistic mother suckers. He married her to keep shame from himself, from being embarrassed. That's why he did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm adding that little piece. They didn't say that in the video, but but it was a time period that we were so asleep that we couldn't see that. But now, be like, she did what? And you wasn't the one that touched her? You know you're going to have to, I ain't going to get ghetto, but pull that man off of her. You know you're going to have to pull that man off of her. And another part was about a baby being born in the manger in December. I thought it was so cute when I was younger. And the star and the manger. I had a little nativity scene around here somewhere that I should just sit and stare at for hours. Used to just meditate on. But it never dawned on me at all. Never dawned on me. Because they say the desert nights are cold. You know what I'm saying? Never dawned on me. And then these three kings that came. These three kings that followed the stars. And in the old tale, it talked about how they came again bearing gifts and praise and worship. And they came to honor Christ. In this new interpretation, they came to, to bring him gifts and basically to spy. They were sent by King Herod or something like that. And then they dipped out on Herod and went back where they came from in order not to report to him, because they knew that Jesus was truly the Son of God when they met him. I mean, all kind of stuff. The next thing I'm going to do, y'all, I'm about to look into, and I used to do this some 20, 25 years ago, is I used to look at the properties of different metals, gems, and different things like that. And so I want to look again at gold. I kind of already know what gold about, but I want to look again. Why did these three kings, in this Bible, now I see this Bible is totally different. Why did these three kings came bearing those particular gifts? And that has to do something, and I think they mentioned it in this video, with the spices, not the trade route, which is interesting because that plays into what's taking place too nowadays, and I'm not going to go into it. The trade route. So it has something to do with trades, most likely. You know, I'm going to look into it. But why those particular, were those particular items mentioned out of any other items? Frankincense, myrrh, and gold. What can you do with those things? There's another clue to start you on a research and some discovery. And so I just really wanted to talk about how our consciousness, we are awakened. And that's an example of how we are awakened. I'm trying to see, because I've been realizing and truly seeing, um, again, this awakening happening. And I can see now where we were drowsy. I can see the sleep. Like I said with the story of Joseph, I can see the sleep now. There was a time I couldn't see the sleep. I can now. Can now. We are awakening. I'm gonna move forward. Let's see. Let me see if where is my, okay, I found that. I did that. People again, okay, I did that. Oh, nope, I said I wasn't gonna go into that. Cause oh yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do, that's just, again, I get confused. I get overwhelmed. Cause the United Nations came up, the UN came in. Lambda calculus. I know last time I ran into the stuff in the Bible that was about computing. Lambda calculus came up. It came up again. And also, it's not just who and him. It's also I am. I am. Alpha radiation particle carbon. What is this? I am. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the I am. I am the alpha and omega. I am. Anywho, uh, remember I was talking about who and him. If you just get into this video, go back about 30 minutes ago so you'll understand when I use the terms who and him, what I'm talking about. And one other term added to that is I am. I am is another, talking about computing system, or I don't know the terminology to use, so I'll just say computing system. And it's identity and access management, functional programming. And so I'm going to try. That take a lot of concentration because I don't know what I'm looking at to just to organize the debate, understand. But I want to go back into that because it's all talking about the system that's coming up to track people, and in this Revelations, it's talking about this healthcare system that's coming up, and it will track a person's identity and the healthcare that they've received, etc., etc. Oh man. Don't Jesus have older siblings? Yeah, I heard that was the old story. I don't know what it is now. I don't even know what it is now. And so I want to move on. I just can't make a short video to save my cotton picking behind. Okay. Remember, I jumped off, chain subject. I'm going back. We was talking about the vid. And asked about why it's a rush to create, and talked about how it's a rush to create and administer a VAC. I talked about and read the definition based on Wikipedia, what a VAC is. And I talked about how the people don't trust their .gov. And I talked about why they don't trust the .gov. And I'm with them because of the reading I got last year, August 2019. And now I say, why don't the people want the VAC? And I talked about because it was hastily created. And I say we're going to go into that. It talks about why people don't want the VAC. Because people, big business, big money, billionaires, private investors have a stake in it. You know. And then also we've heard, I'm sure you heard, if I heard it, that there's some test subjects perished. And then also that it's the fulfillment of biblical prophecy, that is to say the mark of the beast. As a direct result of all these things that we are hearing about and perceiving, witnessing, I decline. I respectfully decline. I told that devil when he tried to buy my soul, I said, I respectfully decline. Same here. Okay, can we truly, if we so deem fit, can we respectfully decline the authorities and those people that have an interest in creating a herd immunity, and hastily by offering a VAC, this VAC that they've already approved, Can we say no? Can we decline? When the gov is gonna say to us, it's gonna say that we need the world back up and running. That's what the gov is gonna say. So this is why you, me, we all need to take the vac. So the thing is, does the benefits outweigh the potential losses? Okay. Next thing, what the people can expect. Some of these things we're already seeing, probably seeing them all. But what can the people expect? You know, once the gov say, hey, you need to take this vac so we can get back to work, the world get back up and running, and we, me, you, or any individual in humanity say, I decline. I respectfully decline. What can we expect? Well, what I've seen and what I believe is going to happen, that there are going to be many threats. Yes, threats of loss. What am I saying? I'm talking, hey, if you don't take the vac, you don't get no work. You can't go to work. Or you can't get your pension. Or you can't get no entitlement benefits at all. Or you can't have no entertainment. You can't travel. Let's see. Or you got limited or no dental. Check this out. No dental or medical treatment. You can't go to school. No school. And guess what, y'all? Guess what? No stimulus check. Now, I want to stop here. And I've been meaning to talk about this because it pissed me off ever since the first stimulus check. Is that in my earlier research before all this stimulus stuff happened, even before I think it was even a proposal, again, astrological energies in my research led me to do some research when it came to like the government or something. And what it said, I said, hey, y'all, we going to get a stimulus check. I say, because this is what the government has determined to be the right mode of action in scenarios such as this. What am I saying? I'm saying, hey, remember, the powers that be, the .gov, the 1 or 2 percenters, study us, the population, from every angle. Psychologically, everything. You might not think it, but, you know, hey, it is true. So they study us from every angle. They study every aspect of existence from every angle. We the ones just real simple and think things are just by chance. And nothing is by chance at all. Nothing. So, one of the studies that they have done is to determine how, what do they call it when they run a, oh gosh, I can't think of it. One of the studies they've done is to understand how to deal with any given circumstance. What's the best way to deal with any given circumstance? What they call that? Can't think of what it's called. And a possible scenario has always been on the roster that there could be a pandemic. You know, it always has been on that a pandemic could occur. It's just that people today are so have said, and many have had such an enhanced or what's the word I'm looking for? Enchanted life, that we don't think certain things can happen. I always talk about like the Holocaust or slavery or a pandemic. We're not talking about an epidemic. We're talking about a pandemic affecting the whole world. Y'all see my whole pandemic affect the whole world. One issue affecting 7.8 plus billion people. Okay, like, does that really happen? You know what I'm saying? In some parts of the world, they know it's possible. But then there's other parts of the world that don't do it. It's people that don't understand that the powers that be, the 1 or 2 percenters, the .gov, and so much more, will plot and plan against the people. They don't believe it. You could be in their arm behind their back and break it, literally. They don't believe it. So what am I saying? I'm saying that there's certain things that we take for granted and we don't want to see the truth. And one of the truths is that we're studied, and everything is studied from every angle. They have experts that do every single thing. Every single thing. even looking at the microorganisms. They look at the micro and the macro, and everything in between. That which can be seen and that which cannot be seen. They know about it. Anywho, one of the researchers that they did, they studied, said, okay, if we ever deal with the pandemic, because we know we will. They had one in, 1918, they said, something like that. Everybody talk about that. So if we have a pandemic, what's the best course of action to take when we have, in the United States, what is it, 310 million people, whatever. That's a lot of people. If something like this happens, how do we deal with it? Well, one of the ways that they came up with, or this is just one aspect of it, is to make sure that the .govs grants stimulus to the residents of that land throughout the whole pandemic, the whole crisis. I'll say the whole crisis. And they said, hurry up, do what you got to do to get done. This is what they discovered, and this is what they had when their expert came and sent before them at the council in Washington, or whatever they met. This is what the expert said. Now, this is how we going to deal with it. We going to give the people of the land a stimulus throughout the whole crisis. The thing is to hurry up and resolve the crisis. And if you have to quarantine them, only quarantine them as long as necessary, no more, because it can cause psychological breaks. And they went into detail, and they talked about the psychological breaks. They talked about the challenges that people would deal with and the various demographics, the deviations between, demographics, and the troubles they would have financially and economically. They talked about the reset and the interest later on. They already talked about these things. They acting sitting up here doing all this stimulus negotiating. They been did that. It is written. You can Google it. Wikipedia. Who was that? Hello? Hello? Mother, shut your mouth. Act like they don't see me. So, I bring that up because they already knew. Remember, I was sidebarring right now. They already knew that they were supposed to make sure that people had benefits to carry them throughout this whole thing. So that's another clue to me that there is a hidden agenda attached to the VID-19, because they moving to stress the people out, to have them living in fear, to improperly influence their soul, relating to the spiritual side of ourselves, to make you say, oh, I'm hungry. I'll go murk somebody before I starve to, perish. Starve to the perish. You know what I'm saying? If a person does that, then their soul is improperly influenced. And I just told y'all the astrological energy was directly talking about our souls for the date of December 25th of this year. The soul. Flat out. Not the first time, but it's the most recent time that these astrological energies spoke directly to the soul, giving very little attention or focus on the physical body or physical existence itself. The soul. So, anywho, I was talking about that because they know they're supposed to give us a stimulus. What was it about stimulus? Oh, no stimulus if you don't take the vac. Okay, so they already knew. So, okay, no stimulus if you don't get the vac, no stimulus, no. But that's okay, because see, now I heard that it is possible for you to get a stimulus. Now this is just hearsay. I don't know it's 100% true, but I heard that they said if a person takes the vac, they can get a stimulus. That what I heard. See, when you ain't got no money, when you can't pay your bills, ain't no food in the cabinet, in the refrigerator, your lights, gas being shut off, how to live through it. You can hurt somebody. You really can. So, if somebody say, hey, come take this vac that's been hastily made, which they lost 6 subject matters. Come take it. And we'll give you another stimulus check. You can eat. A lot of people, of course, will. That's a natural response. I mean, even if a person thinks for once that the vac is a mark of the beast. They still will. A person would ask what God would tempt their servant or their creation in this manner. They would surely, we talk a lot of crap, but we would surely go take the vac if we were hungry or homeless, or the lights or gas or water were off, or if our kids didn't have shoes, pampers, or diapers. We would go take that vac. Matter of fact, we take two. I'm going to let it go. So what do I have here? I talked about that. I just got stuck on that. Next thing, in the field of law. Why do I want to talk about law right now? It's so interesting how my channel has progressed. This is my time to partake. I told you I was going to partake. That a couple of years ago, I started talking about law. Oh, wow. Something exists that I can't see. Because it has walked me on this channel. And it is only those that have been a witness to what I have worked, my works here, can see that I have been walked. And if I have done a good job, then you will walk too, to this advanced awakening. I bring it up because it's just amazing to me how I've been tripping, y'all, in a good way. But how on my channel I started talking about law. The first time I focused on law is when I talked about the Garden of Eden and the tree of, what is it, good and bad, and the fruits and the tree of good and evil. What is it called? Whatever, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That was the first time I talked about law. I talked about law as well as the other branches of knowledge. I ain't gonna do it. I was gonna do something. I ain't gonna do it. I might get in spiritual trouble. So, branches of knowledge. Then I talked about the branches of knowledge again, in law as well. In the video I did talking about Pandora's box has been opened. See your gift. Pandora's box has been opened, or something like that. And then talking about the law. Then when I was my neighbors tried to sue me, and I told you I fought that case and was victorious. Took me over a year, but I came out victoriously. I said, hey, oh yeah, and then I was even led by that which is more conscious, more aware, and more obviously more greater than myself to say, hey y'all, and this came up in astrological energy some years ago. It said, hey, you better increase your knowledge base, and I talked about it for a long time. Choose a field, pick it, and ride it till the wheels fall off. Become more knowledgeable. And that's when I was talking about law. At that time I was using Wikipedia, showing all the different branches a person can jump into, dive off into, and study. You know what I'm saying? And I talked about the different divisions or subcategories of law, as well as in art, music, and I talked about the Illuminati and the various secret societies and different things like that. I talked about all of it. At the time, I'm just following instructions and all the clues that I'm receiving. But they were on point and they were correct for a time such as this. Because this is the time period in which we need to be conscious, aware, knowledgeable, and skillful in at least some area. At least some area. And maybe we can work together to get through what is unfolding. And what do I mean? Why do I bring up law now? Because the .gov wants you to take a vax. Can you respectfully decline? Probably not. Most likely, you're going to receive some form of threat. A mandate is going to be put on the people to take this vax. If you don't do it, you ain't going to be able to go to work, most likely. You won't be able to. Remember, they need a herd immunity. They need a vast majority of the population in any given area to be immune to this vid. I say, what happens if it mutates? I'm just asking. But anyway, but I got an answer for that too. They think they slick. The law. In the law, there is a term that came to mind the other day. And I think the term, if I pronounce it correct, y'all know I have reading issues and pronunciation issues, but it's coercion. Coercion. It is against the law to coerce another person into an action that is illegal or that is against their best interests. Remember, 6 people, it has been said to have perished. And this vac has been created hastily. It's against their better interests. Now, of course, it depends on which branch of law you're dealing with. You know, all the fine, intricate details. I ain't here to get into This is not a professional channel. This is an entertainment channel. So there's many branches of knowledge, meaning the rules or the laws associated with coercing someone depends on which branch of knowledge you are dealing with, and then the details to what being coerced is defined differently. It may vary. It does vary. But I remember one time reading, and I think it had to do with sex, criminal sexual conduct. And it said in that case that a person that is older, I don't remember how it was because it was years ago already, but a person that was older or had more power and authority, like a teacher over a student, that was illegal to do. That was illegal to do between, depending on the age of the victim. Or wherever you say the terminology is. If a lawyer get on here be like, you using the wrong terminology. Oh, I don't have, let me give a disclaimer. I don't hold no degrees or accolades or nothing like that. I'm just talking and sharing from my personal perspective. So, anywho, coercion laws. Anyway, I want to go to the criminal, where I got it already. Got it opening right here. Let my computer go to it, because I want to read a little bit from that. And it says, in my notes, it says, in the field of law, there are laws to protect the powerless from being victims of coercion. I don't know what I'm saying. Coercion. And so I'm going to, and what I have to say too, I don't know, of course, know a lot about it. Oh, that wasn't it. Where is that? Is this the what if? Oh, that's it right there. I don't know a lot about it, but many times when dealing with law, a law is on a local, like city level, with ordinances and policies, and then it goes up to state, and then on state, city, federal, all those city, state, federal, etc., etc. So I did find, and I think this is where I might go to. I don't know where this is going to take me. But I googled coercion, and I clicked on a site called criminalfinelaw.com. Criminal charges. What is coercion law? And the definition is, it has a broad definition of coercion. I'm gonna do this. Come on. Nope. I don't have my dictionary.com open up. That's not cool. I'm gonna see if it'll let me open up another tab. If it stops, I'm coming back in to finish this up, because I'm having a funky good old time. I'm waiting for this site to open up. I got a lot of boards open, so my computer might crash. Let's see. You don't want to do what I asked you to do? Just going against me. Mm. Dirty scratcher, mother scutchers. Okay. I'm gonna just sit here for a minute and continue. I'm not gonna touch the computer anymore because now it's running slow. Oh, maybe it did it. Oh, did it. Now I done clicked on another board, but it didn't put it where I wanted to put it. But that's okay. Let me let it do what it's gonna do because it want to do it. It just want to do it. So okay. Um, okay. You gonna do it?
Coercion.
Wish I could turn it down.
Coercion.
Coercion. Coercion. Okay. So back to um, the definition. A broad definition of coercion is the use of expression or implied threats of violence or reprisal as discharge from employment or other intimidating behavior that puts a person in immediate fear of the consequences in order to compel that person to act against his or her will. What does that mean in relationship to what I'm talking about when I'm talking about mandated vax? I'm saying, hey, there is laws out here. Does it apply here? I don't know. It probably doesn't, because what? They will set the laws up to either back or back their agenda, whatever the agenda is, the hidden agenda is. But it's saying, hey, that you can't coerce somebody, in a coercing, hurrying, nah, I can't see it. Somebody is, if you express or implied threats, use of express or applied threats. What is express or applied threat here? Well, I mentioned some. When they tell you, okay, no vac, no job, no vac, no pension, no vac, no entitlement benefits, no vac, no entertainment, no vac, no travel, no vac, no school, no vac, no stimulus, no vac, you get nothing. You get Black Mirror. What season was that when they closed that man out? It was called White Christmas or White Winter or something. When they closed that man out, he was just a bit of static. He closed out. That's a threat. That's a threat. Or others intimidating behavior that puts a person in immediate fear. Fear of the consequences. What kind of consequences can a person suffer if they refuse to take a vac that's been mandated? It is, if you can't go to work, you can't make money to bring home the bread and butter and bacon to feed your family and yourself and pay your bills and keep a roof over your head and have a lifestyle that you deem fit. Same thing if you can't get your pension or some entitlement. You know what I'm saying? Uh, that talks about your quality of life. Remember that early last year, when I was doing astrological energies, uh, I talked about how Uranus was in Taurus and it retrograded back into Aries, saying, hey, do you want to do things this way? Then after it asked the question, it moved forward and went back into Taurus. It says, there is going to be changes to your quality of life, people of the world. Where here it is again. The quality of your life with no entertainment. Scared that you can't go out the house to go to the show, to a movie or a concert if you don't take the that. If you don't comply. Or no travel. You can't travel. You can't travel on public transportation? An airplane, a train, a bus, train, an airplane? What? You can't go to school. Your kids can't go to school. You can't go to work. Or your kid can't go to the university if they don't comply. People don't want to comply for different reasons, and we talked about it. One reason is they think it's the mark of the beast. The other reason is because it was hastily created. And there's a few others that we talked about. Okay, but the people are going to be scared that they're going to take the vac. Some because they don't want to deal with the consequences of what not being able to go to work. As an example, and it's compelled the person to act against his or her will. What does his or her will say? It's those that say, I do not comply. I respectfully decline. That's their will. But with a mandated VAC, that goes against, they forces them to go against their better judgment about their life and their will. And again, it's for different reasons. Some people are afraid. Some people, well, it's all based in fear. Either you're afraid that of the vac because we don't know what it does, we don't know what it is, but they have released information on what it is. But again, that's a complex area in which a person should be an expert in dealing with it, but we're going to explore that. And that is what's actually, what up, nah, little tiny mosquito down here. What they have created this vac out of, which is interesting to me. And I've heard some things about it. And yes, it is so. Okay. Anywho, what else do I want? I'm going to skip that. Because I want to talk about the different types of coercion that are listed here. And the coercion laws are also, I think I say can defer by state. But it talks about coercion of political activity. There is interface coercion, intimidation, like in a fair housing. It is coercion and enticement. It's sex trafficking. It's protection from coercion in contracts, and it's prohibition of coercion. And what's the FMLA? FMLA is this coercion other government employees with regard to their family or medical leave rights. Okay, so it's in specific circumstances, but it seems to me that it should. This is just me talking. But what do I know? I don't hold any degrees or accolades, anything in law or anything. So, but it seems like if we're told that we can't participate in these various life-sustaining activities, if we don't comply, then that is coercion. Especially, if it is against your will. Bottom line, no matter what they may say or how they may adjust the laws to accommodate their hidden agenda. Okay. Moving forward, I know you can't see what I be reading. I'm going to leave that alone, at least for now. Where my board at? Oh, my goodness. Okay. Right now, what I'm going to do is... Okay, there's my board. I am going to go back to Wikipedia. And I'm going to Wikipedia because now I'm going to look at a different term. I'm looking at the word vaccine. First I looked at vaccination, then I looked at vaccine. And I'm going to read a little bit about vaccine. And then I'm going to go into why I'm going to focus a little bit on vaccine. And I couldn't find all the information that I had previously found on this subject matter, so I'm just talk about it. Because this is an Aquarius Rant, so I talk about what I want to talk about. It says a vaccine is a biological preparation that provides active acquired immunity to a particular infectious disease. A vaccine typically contains an agent that resembles a disease-causing microorganism. That's when you hear, they take a little bit of whatever the disease or virus is, and they give you a little bit of it. And so we're talking about this in relationship to the vid. Now, where did I go? The reason why I want to talk about this, or stop here for a moment, okay, is that, as mentioned, I've heard, it's just hearsay, that 6 subject matters perished. Test subjects perished. I don't know if it's true or not. But and I don't know out of how many people. But 6 seems like a lot. No matter how many people. Because had they not taken that particular agent, the chances are that they will still be in the land of the living. Okay, so it seems like a lot. But the reason why I'm stopping here and I went to vaccine is because, oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. Immunization, maybe. I wonder immunization. This is not the first time I studied it. This information, this whole line of thought. So I've been on this line of thought for a while. But today I went back and I tried to retrieve some of the information that I found earlier or some time ago, and I could not. But what I found out is that there are sometimes that there are what they call it, adverse effects. I don't know if I said that right. To vaccinations. That is to say, a person can have an allergic reaction, or they could perish, or they could suffer. Like some children, there are claims that some children begin to suffer from autism as a direct result of some immunization or something. And so that is a possibility, you know, when we're talking about this vid vac, taking this vid vac. And one of the bits of information I came by, and I don't remember the details, so take this with a grain of salt, but there's a fund. There are, I think, like 2 different funds. I think one fund is primarily for kids, and the other is maybe for the general populace. I don't know. Don't quote me. I'm not an expert. This is an entertainment channel. But just exploring, just thinking, just sharing. This is an Aquarius Rant. Thank you for dropping by here to Ken Angel Slide Tarot and more, and riding this wave with me. Anywho, every time there is an adverse effect as a result of a vaccination or immunization, that has to be reported to a particular department. I know y'all know that. So that's to say that they keep records so that they can have what they call it, statistics, available, and understand the likelihood of some immunization's effectiveness or potential threats. Makes sense. Another thing is that, again, as mentioned, sometimes injuries do happen as a direct result of immunization or vaccination. And there are, again, it depends on what state you're in, of course, or what country you're in, different things like that. But there's a fund for a person that has been injured as a direct result of taking a vaccination or immunization. But this was the thing that I read, if I'm recalling it correct, that injury has to occur and be identified within an hour after the vaccination. I think it was an hour, or immunization. An hour. 1 hour, if I'm not mistaken. If it can be proven, of course, the responsibility or burden of proof is on the person that's been injured and their people. You have to prove that it occurred, that a person either perished as a direct result within an hour. Sometimes when you go to the doctor, they give you a shot or some medication. They tell you sit there for 45 minutes before you leave. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to make sure you don't have an adverse effect. Same thing here. If you have an adverse effect, it has to occur within an hour. And you have to, it has to be, of course, logged and reported effectively enough for you to put in and make a claim for, and I forgot how much it is because it's a cap or a cap or of a lump sum of amount a person can claim. Of course, whatever that amount was, it wasn't enough to carry nobody through their life if they are injured in a way that they have mental issues or cognitive dysfunction occurs, or again, being a person perishing, possibly loss of income, just the grieving. They're not paying for that. They would be paying for, just the injury itself. But then and again, I've been reading these things at different times, is saying that, a lot of people come through and they make these claims and they don't get anything. It also says something about not being able to sue uh, this particular construct of healthcare, or the .gov that deals in the primary structure construct of healthcare. So you can't even sue them. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up believing that you can't sue the .gov. That's what I was grown up to learning. Anywho, hard. That's a hard one, a hard nut to crack. I've heard. Anywho, I was just sharing that because I found that it was interesting. That why do I bring that up? Why do I bring that up? I bring it up because if the VAT is mandated and people are coerced into taking the VAT and they have an adverse effect, you only got an hour to say something if I'm reading this stuff correct. And I don't know if that applies in all cases. You know what I'm saying? So, that can be against a person's best interest or people's best interest. Now, understanding that the powers that be, the one percenters, the .gov, need a herd immunity, desire to establish a herd immunity to this virus. They need to. So, my question now is, if the .govs, the one or two percenters, are successful in establishing a herd immunity, meaning the majority of the population in any given area is immunized, tied tongue, against this particular virus, then do the people that are immunized, or what's the word, vaccinated, do they become a threat to anybody that's not vaccinated? I wonder, do they? Meaning, then they are a threat to the people? The way I see this is like, if, this is just a thought, just a question I have. If that be the case in large majority of a population in any given area is uh, um, vaccinated, then are the other people around that aren't vaccinated have a higher probability of getting sick because those that are vaccinated now carry this bug? That right now, only a few people seem to be carrying the bug. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and everything is shut down. They don't say they don't want to spread, but then you give it to the mass majority of the people, and then a few people out here exposed to a whole lot of people that are carrying this bug. Another question I have, because I'm not a professional, so I'm just asking a question. I'm inquisitive. That's what I do. I'm an Aquarius. This is an Aquarius Rant. Is, okay, right here, right now, the experience that I've been having, I'm having and have been having over this last year, is that I have to mask up, quarantine, sanitize, wash my hands even more than I normally would, etc., in order to reduce the possibility of me being exposed to the virus, to the germs that lead to this virus called the vid. I was about to go with that. So, it is possible, based on my understanding, that I'm in close proximity to a person that is carrying the vid, that I'm exposing myself to it, and therefore can get sick. Or if I go into a space that has been recently occupied by somebody with the vid, I can be affected too. Or if I touch a surface and pick up some droplets of somebody that's been coughed, sneezed, or spit out, and they have the vid, that I can again be exposed to the vid and deal with the symptoms of the vid. which is supposed to be fairly highly contagious. It's got the world shut down. We in quarantine. So, my question is, if people are vaccinated and they carry this bug, what effect is it going to have on them as an individual receiving this vaccination? And I'll try to make that make sense. Here's a TMI, my story. Once upon a time, some years ago, I went and got I was always told, hey, you got to go get a flu shot. Flu shot. For years, I wouldn't go get a flu shot. And as I got older, I was like, okay, you got to do the grown-up thing, Nancy. Go on and get your flu shot. You know, be a part of the trend. You're always outside the box. Go take your flu shot. I go take the flu shot. It was wonderful. That first year, it was wonderful. I have hay fevers and allergies. For a whole 2 years, I didn't have an allergy, a sneeze, a nothing. No, what they call it, no sinus pains, no nothing, no drainage, no nothing. I was like, oh, this is a miracle. So it might have been a year or something. It seemed like it was more than a year. I'm gonna say a year, solid year. I'm like, oh yeah, it's time. Now it's time to take another flu shot, whatever it's called. And so I go to the doctor, so happy and willingly, and I take the shot, thinking I'm gonna have the same effect. But this time I didn't have the same. At that time, I didn't have the same effect. What ended up happening is I got very, very sick, and I stayed sick, and my allergies was off the chain after that. I was so sick, I never went back and took another flu shot. No, no. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the the VID-Vac. That if a person goes take the VID-Vac, like I took the flu shot, or whatever it's called, the flu shot, will this person suffer the symptoms associated with the VID? You know? And if so, how severe? What's the likelihood that a person might have mild symptoms, if any, or excessive symptoms, if any? And as I ask, are other people around that person susceptible to like pick up the bug or the virus because that other person has been vaccinated with the what? Back to the definition of a vaccination is a part of the organism of that germ. You know, that germ, the organism either is what it said, either is killed or it's alive or it's whatever, you know, whatever they have to do to make an effective vaccination. Anywho, okay, I move on. Another thing. Okay, I did that. Another question I had one more question. I didn't know I had another question, but I do. Is it possible that this VID-Vac can have a time release side effect? Going back to what I shared a little earlier, it said, hey, if a person is immunized and nothing occurs within an hour, then it hasn't been established that any injury that the person suffered afterwards was directly related to the immunization. In this case, the VID-Vac. Hopefully that makes sense. You know? And so what I'm saying is like after that hour, the hour and 15 minutes, 2 days later, 3 days later, 4 days later, 5 days later, 5 years later, what if side effects occur that just disrupt in some way a person's physical worldly experience? Rather, you know, just throwing stuff out here, ain't read nothing about it. Their eyesight started going bad. Or, I don't know, their arms start hurting. They get gout or something, or bad breath, halitosis, I don't know. But sometime later, it releases something, you know, whatever it does. We're going to talk about what it does and how it's constructed. It causes a negative effect in the person. Hmm? Why is this a question that I'm really concerned about? It's because I did look up and I did find what the approved this VAC that has been approved is made up of, and I have some concerns. Okay, where did I go? I went to Wikipedia, and I went to 2020 first vaccine for coronavirus disease 2019. Did I say that here? Yep, right here. I can't get rid of it. Okay. Again, I can't show you Wikipedia. I'm not going to show you Wikipedia because if I show you Wikipedia, I might be doing something wrong, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to talk. But I'm giving you the sources to look at. Go back. Okay. So where I started this moving forward on this line of thought is I went to Wikipedia and I started with timeline of human vaccines on Wikipedia. Timeline of human vaccines. And so I scrolled down a page, and when I got down almost to half of the page, I end up seeing, was it half a page? Where is that? Yep, where is that? Oh my God. Give me a minute, y'all. Oh, yeah, a little more than half the page. It says 2020. It says first vaccine for coronavirus disease 2019 approved. The coronavirus 2019 is a hyperlink. Okay, and then it goes on and says, which is also the first capital RNA, all capital, vaccine, which is also a hyperlink. The RNA vaccine is a hyperlink, and it says to be approved. So I'm gonna read that again, and it gives the name of the medication is 2-Zen Marion, Marion, 2-Zen Marion. Y'all know I have reading deficiency. Just ride away with me. So I'm gonna read that again. It's Wikipedia timeline of history timeline of human vaccines. 2020 first vaccine for coronavirus disease 2019 approved, which is the first. This is what I want you to understand. I want you to embrace and pay attention to, which is also the first RNA vaccine to be approved, and then it has the name of it. So I go back to this hyperlink RNA vaccine because it's the first one ever. It's the first one ever. So what's the RNA? Y'all know I have a reading deficiency, so just ride away with me if you will. I'm going somewhere with this, then I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you for coming over here to Can Angels Fly, Tarot, and more, and allowing me to perform this Aquarius Rant and talk about the gift, dragons, and healthcare. An RNA vaccine, or mRNA, extended name, messenger RNA vaccine, is a type of vaccine that uses, pay attention, it uses a man-made copy of a natural chemical called messenger RNA. Well, the question that I had is, why did the scientist that created or was moving to solve or try to eradicate or control the vid, why did they seek a synthetic method, man-made copy of a natural chemical called messenger RNA, rather than seeking nature or something truly natural? to do so. Why? One reason, this is just my theory, because I'm just thinking, is that what I discovered about the vid and its original development, remember, it occurred because it was a mutation that man made to a cell of a woman who was ailing, meaning sick, in China. And whatever they did to her, it mutated the cell, and it caused the seal in the cell to melt down and release its contents, and it blended with something else within that cell that it naturally, remember, this is a self-contained ecosystem. This is a self-contained ecosystem that the creators established all the rules, regulations, policies, everything, principles, and said abide by these, and you can live like a heavenly state here on this planet. But you can do what you want. And if you do what you want, then you're going to cause mutations to occur in this physical realm, and you're going to have to live out the residual effects of it. So that's what happened. They went in to try to help this woman in China, and they did whatever their medical curiosity led them to do, thinking they could cure the woman. I'm sure it was innocent. But what ended up happening, they broke the seal of a single cell, and the components of it, or the contents in the cells, mixed over in each other, creating the vid. Now that was in what was that? 1994. And here we are in the year 2020. So I told you, I don't know if the vid got out here intentionally. Did they store it up and release it for a time such as this for hidden agenda? Or has all this time have that vid been, spiraling out into the world? I don't know. But that's the information I found. But I bring that up because, again, going back to that cell being destroyed by man's works, messing with God work, that was an artificial way, not an artificial, it was artificial, but what I'm trying to say is that man broke the rule. That was the rule. Whatever the rule that applied to that cell in that woman's body was the standing rule to her body, and man violated it. So it wasn't natural, is what I'm saying. So here come man again, using their unnatural ways to try to deal with the unnatural result of their previous works. It's like you can't, what they say, you can't make poop smell like roses or something like that. Isn't you two negative, two wrongs don't make a right? So they up here, they can't consult. My whole thing is they can't most likely go to nature under God's laws, rules, policies, regulations, chemistries, formulas, under God's. They can't do that. And to solve the issue that we're dealing with relative to the vid. And they can't do so because the vid itself is not natural. So, and what they end up doing is, for the first time ever, they're taking their scientific expertise and they have created a man-made copy of a natural chemical called messenger RNA to produce an immune response. The vaccine transfects, what's this word? Transfects molecules of synthetic RNA into a human cell. Messing with the cell again. Once inside the cell, the vaccine RNA functions as a mRNA, which is what? A messenger RNA, causing the cell to build the foreign protein. Remember, going back to the vaccination, how do you, where is it at? Going back to the vaccination. This is the one. Okay. Where that word at? Right. Going back to the term vaccination, which I read the definition off of Wikipedia earlier, it said vaccines contain a microorganism or virus in a weakened, live, or killed state, or proteins or toxins from the organism. So proteins from the organism. The organism is the vid, or the cells that make up the vid, the components that make up the vid. So going back to what I was reading, it says, hey, the vaccine transfects molecules of synthetic RNA into the human cell. I had to go back up. It says an RNA vaccination is a messenger, is a type of vaccine that uses a man-made copy of a natural chemical called messenger RNA to produce an immune response. The vaccine transfects molecules of the synthetic RNA into the human cell. Once inside the cells, the vaccine RNA functions as a mRNA. Let's read that again. Once inside the cell, once this thing gets inside the cell, this vaccine gets inside the cell, it says the vaccine's RNA, the true elements of the vid, whatever part, they said it was a protein or something. They said, what did it say? So we're talking about the actual vid. It says the vaccine's RNA. Do it. Is it? Oh, that's all one hyperlink all together. Let's see. Can't find it right now. Okay, I can't do it right now. It's not gonna let me. I'm gonna mess it up. I'm almost over. I want to end at. I want to mess up my video, and I'm already at the end. So, okay. Once inside the cell, the vaccine's RNA functions as a mRNA. What I think that means is to say, like, hey, we take a piece of the vid, just a little piece. Like, I see this helix in science, the helix thing in the image. So it's like it has a part of the DNA strand of the vid, and this scientific advancement that they're using, the scientific technology, replicates that. It replicates it. It replicates what the vid really is. And the reason why it replicates what the vid really is so that it can perform its function, which we're going to uncover in a minute. So anyway, so it causes the cell to build the foreign protein. It causes the cell to build the foreign protein. Understand, the vaccination can be a protein of the organism. The organism here is the vid. And it's saying, hey, we take a piece of the vid, and whatever we scientifically have engineered it with, we put it in your body. Once it go in your body, that the copying machine we put in there copies the vid. But it's like having it copies the information of the vid so that it can mutate it and create a protein. You know what I'm saying? So it distorts or redefines or restructures the vid. Like, try to get the vid under its control. You know, to make it be what it want to be and do what it want to do. That's the best way I can describe what I believe I'm comprehending. And so it says that would normally be produced by a pathogen such as a virus or by a cancer cell. Early on, I said, when I was talking about I was about to partake in my vices, I'm going to go ahead and say cancer. Because they talking about, or by a cancer cell. So anywho, it says causing the cells to build a foreign protein that would normally be produced by the pathogen. The pathogen here is the vid, such as a virus or by a cancer cell. And this is interesting because that means then that they're using, or either they are or they plan on using this type of technology to deal with cancer. You know what I'm saying? So this invention, this advancement is just beginning. Okay, these proteins molecules stimulate an adaptive immune response that teaches, y'all listen to this, these proteins that are created, they are they're imagine them being alchemists. They are magicians. They are creating a unique protein, which they are pulling, copying, and maybe again redefining with this mRNA. Anyway, these proteins, that protein that it ends up creating in the end, once it does its magic, the copying machine inside, you know, the little virus, once it does the little copying it's going to do and it creates the protein, it says these protein molecules stimulate an adaptive immune response. We can hover over adaptive immune response to see what it says. Let's see what it says when I hover over it. It says the adaptive immune response system, also referred to as the acquired immune system, is a subsystem of the immune system that is composed of specialized systematic cells and processes that eliminates pathogens by preventing their growth. The acquired immune system is one of the two main immunities. This is the part that just keeps it from growing and getting out of control. It says this protein molecule stimulate the adaptive response. So it's trying to stop the V from progressing, which teaches the body how to identify and destroy the corresponding pathogen or cancer cells. So they already had an intention. Now I say this is the first time that this has been used, at least relative to dealing with a vid or virus or something. But it's also cancer. So what is it saying here? It's saying, hey, once this made up protein gets in there and it learns, you know, it learns what it needs to learn to make the appropriate protein. Once it has this protein constructed inside of you, then it attaches to what it has to attach to in order to cause an adaptive immune response, which is the system of being able to keep a virus from advancing anymore. You know, can't advance anymore. Shut it down, hold it at bay, and hopefully destroy it. It says then it teaches this cell in that this new protein that is attached to the body and has gotten the response, and the response is to destroy, you know, the threat, which is the vid. You know, it teaches the body how to identify what the vid really is, and it says it destroys the corresponding pathogens or cancer. So, have you ever heard of technology that learns along the way? I know I have. Technology that learns along the way. This is a form of technology that learns along the way. It's just microscopic. I don't know. Is it anything smaller than micro? What's the word they use? A microorganism? Micro science technology. It says, where is it at? Where is it at? Let's see. The RNA molecule is coated with a drug delivery vehicle. Aha! I ain't even read down this far. The mRNA, the messenger RNA, that copying machine molecule is covered with, like, you know, a Teflon pan that you can't use a metal on it, otherwise you get the Teflon off of it. You know, you got to use the certain utensils, like the plastic utensils, to use it. Well, it's coated. This particular RNA molecule is coated with a drug delivery. So, I can't see. It's not big enough. Can I expand this? What's a drug delivery? I'm not going to hold y'all much longer, but I'm going one more place with this. If you can just ride this wave with me a little longer. I'm going one more place with this, which is highly intriguing, something that we've heard of, but I'm here to reiterate it once again so we clearly understand what we are dealing with. Because the time is quickly approaching that we will either have to respectfully decline and deal with the repercussions, or go ahead and shoot, take the mark of the beast, because what God would, you know, God dang, where was I at? Talking crap. That's what I get for talking crap. I'm sorry. Okay, I was looking for drug delivery. Okay, do such a thing to its creation. Anyway, drug delivery refers to approaches, formulations, technologies, and systems for transporting a pharmaceutical compound in the body, sometimes based on nanoparticles. That's interesting. I didn't even go here. As needed to safely achieve its desired therapeutic effect. It may involve scientific site targeting within, and I can't see the rest because I'm hovering. But I never looked at this part right here earlier when I was, preparing to do this live. But that drug delivery system, it says here, remember, I'm reading about the approved vac for the lid. First time ever, this is the technology that's going to be used. And it does have to do with nanoparticles. I've heard that, nanoparticles. And what movie was that showed, was that a kids movie? It was some kids movie that showed it showed an example of nanoparticles. What was that movie? The kid was really smart. Oh man. I think I was watching it with a kid too, to see how nanoparticles work uh, on a bigger scale, a bigger scale example of how it works. Um, and so, yeah, it says the drug delivery method is sometimes nanoparticles. And in this case, it is nanoparticles, and that's where I wanted to take you. Now, where else was I at? Because, let's see. By early December 2020, there were 2 novel mRNA vaccines that had completed the required 8-week period post-final human trials and were awaiting emergency use authorization. So emergency use authorization and emergency use authorization, or EUA, is that EUA, in the United States is an authority granted to the Food and Drug Administration under sections of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, as added to and amended by various acts of Congress. Like I said, hey, they got to change the law, because I know I done ran into that coercion law many times over the course of my life. I never had to use it. It never applied to me, but I've seen it in different, forms dealing with different circumstances and situations. Well, now that they got this, these approved vax, now what's the first move they make? They go straight to change the law. They don't ask the people, not at all. And so once the law is put in place, they mandate it. Either you do it or you pay the penalty. See, I mean, come on now. So,
Where's the court?
I don't know. Um, and anyway, let's see, for Drug and Cosmetic Act, as added to and amended by various acts of Congress, including by the Pandemic and All Hazards Preparedness. Okay, let's see. On December 2nd, 2020, United Kingdom's Medicine and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency became the first medicine regulators in history to approve an how you gonna do an? It's supposed to be a mRNA vaccine, authorizing BioNTech / Pfizer's 2 Marion. I'm going decode that name too. Vaccination for widespread use against the vid. Oh man, where was I at? Let's see. I do not remember that part at all. Did I write it here? Yeah. Okay. Oh man, where did I go? Why do I try to take notes? Um, give it to me. Give it to me. Mm mm. Mm 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 mm. Where did I click that at? Oh my. Messenger RNA. That's what I clicked on because I just went back. Okay, I'm still on Wikipedia, and now I just clicked on the hyperlink that says Messenger RNA because I was really interested in learning what the RNA was, and so I'm gonna read a little bit about the RNA. I still have a little more to go, and then I'll be off of here. Again, thank you for dropping by and being so patient with me. It says in molecular biology. This is so interesting because that was that Bill Gates and his traveling wave reactor. They all in this together one way or another. It's so much I can't hard for me to see the bigger picture, and it's a gift to be able to see it. And I almost can, but not all of it. It's a fragment. It's still uh, shaky. Molecular biology is the branch. Remember, so yeah, you got to become proficient in some area. How we gonna keep our eyes on these people and know what they up to if we don't even know what they talking about? We don't know what we looking at, etc., etc. It isn't. I don't think it's too late to jump on, on the bandwagon in some area and become familiar with it, aware, familiar with the branch of knowledge and the terms associated with it and definitions. So when these people talk, they're not speaking over your head, you know what I'm saying? And they just can't pull any old okey doke on you. A lot of the people in the world, intelligence is not where it should be had we it would be if we were not improperly influenced. In times past, I've talked about that. I wasn't talking about the people. That's what the astrological energies were saying. Who wrote those messages in the astrological energies for a person such as myself to decode? I don't know if it was God or I don't know if it was the 1 or 2%ers, but somebody wrote them and they said these is not the crispiest cookies in the jar. The world's general population is not the most crispiest cookies in the jar. Us elitists, the 1 or 2%ers, we can take advantage of them because they don't know. They don't know. And you know why I come to believe that I'm here on YouTube? Because what? I'm just a common Jane. I'm a representative. I am an Aquarius. I am one of many. I'm one of the 7.8 plus billion people that create humanity at this time. Again, a simple inner city girl. You know what I'm saying? With not a whole lot of education, not a whole lot of support. No, I mean, it's just me. And I have the capacity to identify and comprehend some things that may be on a border of being complex. I'm an example. I'm saying that we can do it. We can understand because they pulling too much game on us. They pulling too much game on us. And that also explains why they always blocking my videos. My transfusion impression. How you doing? I tickle myself, y'all. I know I'm a weirdo. Okay, so let's talk about this molecular biology. I run my mouth so much that I finish it. Okay. But molecular biology, because I'm hovering, is the branch of biology that concerns the molecular basis of biological activity in and between cells. In and between cells. And that's the, don't get deviated, including molecular synthesis, modifications, and that's what they doing. mechanisms, and interactions. The central dogma of molecular biology describes the process in which DNA is because I'm just hovering. So unhovering and reading what is before me is in molecular biology, messenger RNA is a single strand molecule. That's what's a molecule. So it's a single strand molecule. So remember, what is it called? A double helix that spins like two ribbons. It's just that one side of it. It's just that one side of information. And whatever technology, the nanotechnology that's going in is going in and connecting to that one natural stand of the vid, a partial expression of what the vid really is, blended with it, making a copy of it, so it'll have that double helix. And then the copy is going to try to control the natural part of it in order to manipulate it and make it do what it want to do, so they can instruct it to eradicate or destroy the vid virus. That's what it seems like it's saying to me. The problem is that they're talking about injecting people with what they call nano, what they call it, nano what? I'm going to keep reading because it came up down here. This is where I was. Okay, that corresponds to the genetic sequence of, let me read that again. In molecular biology, we're talking about stuff we can't see now. A messenger RNA is a single-stranded molecule of RNA that corresponds to the genetic sequence of a gene. It is read by the ribosome. I should know this word. I remember it from science, but I don't. Ribosome, ribosome, in the process of synthesizing a protein. Synthesizing is when I hover. Why they got that protein biosynthesizing, which I'm talking about. That's what the scientific engineering gonna do with the portion of the vid that is exposed to. As a protein biosynthesis is a core biological process occurring inside a cell. So we talking about inside a cell. Again, we talking about something you can't see, unless you got magnification. Balancing the loss of cellular proteins through the production of new proteins. Proteins form a variety of critical functions as immunize, not immunize. And enzymes. Me and my reading. Enzymes, structural proteins, or hormones, and therefore are critical biological components. Because I was hovering. Synthesizing a protein. It says a transcription. Transcription. See, this is the problem. This is why we don't, I think, take time to learn. It take a whole lot. Now, transcription. I have no idea what the term transcription means. I have an idea, but most likely I'm wrong. I only know a fragment of what it means. So I got to hover over transcription to find out what transcription means. Because it says transcription is the process of copying a gene from the DNA to a mRNA. That's what it is. So I ain't going to look it up because I understand that's the copying machine process. Okay, this process is slightly different in eukaryotic. What is this? Yachts? I don't know. Eureka. Look like Eureka to me a little bit. Eukarya. Eukarya? Eukarya? Or eukaryotes? Whatever. EUKARYOTES are organisms whose cells have a nucleus enclosed in a nuclear envelope. Is that nuclear envelope what they broke the seal? Not here. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering. I'm just asking questions. Okay. Where was it at? God dang it. Maybe I was down here. Oh, gosh. Okay. Let me see. Let me look at the contents. I don't remember seeing this. But I had to click on something else because synthesizing, processing, and function. Adding transport. I remember seeing transport. Another difference. I remember seeing transport. Translation structure. I didn't come all the way down here. I remember that. Oh, let me see if I could just go off the top of my head because I can't remember. Set modification area. I can't. I don't remember where I went. What was the final five prime untranslated regions? See, it started getting real complex. My God, we'll have to keep excellent notes, which was always a challenge for me. My information coming everywhere. Wow, I don't know the next hyperlink that I clicked on because it was something. Well, I think the biggest thing that I wanted to share and confirm, as I've heard, is that oh yeah. I know what it was. It was what the actual thing is made up of. Oh man, what did I do? I don't know where I was at. Gosh dang it. Every single time. Still going up, still looking. See if I remember. But I confirm I can concur, I think is the word, that there are nanotechnology that exists within this approved vac. And my thing is, once this nanotechnology is entered into, the body, the blood, through the bloodstream, after it served its purpose of creating this protein by copying the DNA information of the vid and creating the protein to make the vid stop progressing. My question is, what happens to those that nanotechnology? That's maybe if they have their perfect utopia of 7.8 plus billion people, all with nanotechnology in a system. Does that nanotechnology, why can't I find it? Continue to keep trying to stop the vid? If the vid, mutates, does that nanotechnology jump up and go right back to work? And then after that, like it says, it can also do this with cancer cells. What if the technology identifies something else in the body? You know what I'm saying? Cancer or cancer cells or some other issue. How do we know that? Where does it settle in a particular region in the body? You know what I'm saying? How does it know where to stay? Like, how does any medicine know where to work at? But my question is, how do we know if it's going to stay? It could, be, I don't know, administered, and it's supposed to deal with the lung, because that seems to be the primary issue when it comes to the vid. But it goes and does some work in the heart. You know what I'm saying? Does that kind of thing? If something can build, it can also destroy. So I have these concerns. And again, it seems that this vac has been created hastily. I think hastily means quick, fast. If I stated that wrong, then I do apologize. And now we understand why. It's always been a question I've heard rise over and over again, and I knew about this when I was younger. at least this is what I told, is that many times uh, a vaccination, like, or whatever, penicillin, or was created by mistake, and it only happens on an average of 20 years, or whatever the case may be. And so people saying, how did they create this vac so quick? It is because it's literally man made, and the delivery method is nanotechnology. So what happens? Are we able to go back to our physicians and have nanotechnology extracted from our bodies? Does it dissolve? And what is this nanotechnology made of? What gives it its intelligence to know, what to copy, when to copy it, when to stop doing it? You know what I'm saying? And then what else is it capable of doing, this nanotechnology? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure this is an intelligence like a parasite, a parasite. And so it only probably has trained however you train. This is the kind of things I'm saying I don't appreciate not knowing in detail about, because if there's somebody that has this level of consciousness and awareness, and when they look at it, it's like reading A, B, C, D, and E. Well, I wanted to be let on it a long time ago. So now we here, and I don't know, but I'm trying to figure it out. Tell me, once this stuff, if I go and I comply, what happens to this nanotechnology in my body that is a messenger, that it has been encoded, however you encoded it? That's why I went on that little rant to do what it do. How does it know not to do it again or with something else? That's all I want to know. Tell me about it. Now, what I can't find here, y'all, is I can't find where it talked about the makeup of it. The vaccine. I did. What, did I back up? Yeah, I backed up. Is there some more? I don't know what. I get off here, y'all. You know I've been forgot to say something or pose a question. I guess I can't remember what I was really looking on. The mRNA molecule is called, okay, with your using pegylated lipid nanoparticles. Solid lipid nanoparticles, or SLN. Saturday Night Live? No, that's SNL. Okay. SLN, or lipid nanoparticles. LNP are nanoparticles composed of lipids. So what is a lipid? I'm hovering. And then I'm out of here, y'all. I'm just curious. Lipids in biology and in biochemistry, a lipid is a macro biomolecule. A macro biomolecule. A macro, meaning macro and relative to a microorganism or micromolecule. Maybe it's a micromolecule and a macromolecule. Why is the word macro here? I want to know. Oh, shoot. I didn't make it, and I almost made it. Why would this? Oh, I was going to say, do I want to? I want to search that. Macro biomolecule. It just jumped a molecule. I didn't want to put the term together for me. Okay, but let's read. Biomolecules include large micromolecules or polyanoids, polyanoids, I ain't saying that right, such as proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, that's not even how you say that, lipids, and nucleic acids, as well as small molecules such as primary metal metabolics. See, my tongue and mind start getting twisted when I'm reading too many complex words together. The struggle is real. Secondary metabolics and natural products. A more general name for this case is material is biological materials. Biological materials. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. That's not what I was on, was I? Yeah, because they do this in when they pull your labs. Let's see. Lipid. Oh, I'm not saying that right. That was the end of my thing. I'm just here looking at a few other things. And so I guess I can close this slide by saying asking the question. Is it worth is this worth the cost? You know? Are the benefits is the benefits worth the potential losses? Are the presumed benefits worth the possible losses? That's a question that will be answered, soon and very soon. I'm gonna try real hard to stay at the end of the line, y'all. I can sit here for a while. Oh no, they don't have this in the dictionary. Oh, they ain't got it in the dictionary. Lipid. Lipids. Lipid. What was I saying? Oh Lord, this thing's moving slow again. Come on, baby. Come on, thing. Oh, you froze up on me at the last minute. You dirty son of a gun. Okay, let me get off here because it's locking up on me at the very last minute. Okay. Thank you. No. I can get rid of that. Moving slow. As soon as my computer catch up, I'm going to move to end this live stream. Y'all take care and have a safe, and safe time. Because I don't know what time you're going to watch the video. Uh-oh. Okay. We are living. I better not sing that. I think I sung a song one time and they won't say I demonetize me or something, or threaten me, or say I had something. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh. Looking beautiful, Nancy. See you next time. All right, next time. See you. Bye-bye. Now I can get off here because this thing, maybe I can. Y'all got me in my granny pajamas. They so comfortable and warm. That's what I do. sit here, drink my coffee, stay warm, and do my research. Quarantine time continues.